Hello there, boys and girls. This is your favorite friend until the end tookie. I'm so happy to be here at the Blind Mike Project on Sunday. It's way better than that church bullshit, kiddies. Jesus is a lie. Hackride! Make sure you go to blindmike.net. Do not use the W's. They do not work. Here's your host, a man who's now sending Guinea Mafia hitmen after open mic comedians. Whoa! Blind! Wait! Yay! I want to come!
Okay. I have a lot of questions already. Hello, everybody. First live stream of the month. We've been away, but we haven't, I feel like. You know, I always panic about not doing enough, but we make sure there's content even while we're gone. That's how hardworking this show is, for God's sake.
That's right.
But I have to now. Hackride, it has been his job, his duty, to bleep the intros for Why You Laughing so we don't get demonetized right away, and he adds curse words to this one and racial slurs, mind you.
It's from a puppet though, so we might be fine.
Also, is that? I can't believe I have to ask this. Is that the real Tukey? Because I think it was an AI version.
If it was AI, that was the most accurate one.
He mispronounces his own name.
That's true.
I don't know. I've lost control. We hear a lot from Hackride. I hope Hackride's still invested in this program because it seems like he has, I don't know, a lot on his mind these days. I don't hear from him anymore.
I hear from him all the time.
Really?
Yeah, we're in constant communication.
I gotta say, I miss him. I hope I haven't. Now, I complain about him on this show, but it's the way you complain about a spouse or something. You know, there's love there, of course. You just got to vent your frustrations.
A lot of love. Too much love.
Well, I hope I haven't scared him away, but we'll address Hackride. He's worn a lot of hats in the last couple weeks, I guess. So we'll get to him. And we also have a special guest coming up. Our pal, one of the Havre de Grace 5. He was there for Heartbreak and Havre de Grace, and perhaps a greater heartbreak has happened because it came from an unexpected source. And Justin wants to expose that. Justin's been great at exposing major world tragedies.
That's right.
He famously discussed the sex trafficking and slavery that is happening right here in this nation. And he's uncovered something far worse and frankly deals with probably much greater perverts in my estimation.
If it's what I'm assuming, I'm probably on his side.
Well, we'll see. We shall see. We'll get there in due time. First, I have to talk about my old pals over at Barstool Sports because I think if you're a Barstool fan, that's got to be. I haven't seen any negativity. I'm sure there's people on the internet that are being assholes about it, but that has to be like one of the greater days in Barstool history. When Dave announces he's back. He's just back all of a sudden.
Right. Because you sent it to me and I wasn't sure how I was supposed to react to it, but I was like, I think this is great.
Yeah, I think, well, there's some weirdness attached to it that is my main focus that I want to get to. But let's just play literally the announcement quickly here. This popped up out of nowhere. Did I miss something? Because I was on the Kirk Minahan show, a Barstool product, on Monday. Tuesday, this was announced. I heard nothing. There wasn't, you know, you could probably scrutinize the audio and maybe say Kirk hinted at it or something, but there was no overt, like, hey, big things coming tomorrow. You know, things might change tomorrow. Who knows? I didn't hear a peep about this. And then all of a sudden I see this video pop up on my timeline.
Complete with the Fandango music.
Everything's back.
Okay, emergency press conference time. Maybe the biggest emergency press conference we've ever had here at Barstool Sports. Where to start? Penn Entertainment and Barstool Sports have gone our separate ways. As of this moment, while you were watching this video, I have purchased back Barstool Sports from Penn. So that is right.
Okay, so right now when I'm watching it, I'm like, what's the punchline? Like, what am I missing? This is obviously a sketch. He uses the Fandango music. And then I was trying to dissect. I was like, maybe did he find an old video where, like, did Penn want to buy Barstool before Churton? It made no sense to me because I had heard nothing about this. And all of a sudden he's like, yep, Penn's out. I'm back.
decade, I own 100% of Barstool Sports. Not since the Chernin deal have I been in total control of everything. Why did it happen? How did it happen? Well, I think Penn, who I have nothing but great things to say. I've said that all the way along with the Penn relationship. I have nothing but the most respect from Jay, his whole team, everything. We did this deal about 3 years ago, and I think both parties are like, we're going to take this thing to the moon. And we underestimated just how tough it is for myself and Barstool to operate in a regulated world where gambling regulators, the New York Times, Business Insider, hit pieces, fucking with the stock price. Every time we did something, it was one step forward.
Can I take a moment to say, like, you know, I never really do this. I was right? That's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blind Mike was right.
All the changes they had to make, which I understand, ended up not being good for Barstool, so they just stopped doing it. Right?
That giant blowout that you and Portnoy had would have been avoided.
The whole major, like, everything changed because of gambling regulators, and like when I said that if Penn National's buying Barstool, they should embrace what Barstool is rather than trying to do what the regulators want, or they just shouldn't be in that business. For once, this is not. People say this is me, taking a victory lap. I so rarely get to do that. So can you let me make it around the track once? It kind of feels nice.
Mike, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So I was right. Basically, Barstool changed because they had to deal with corporations. Now that Portnoy was always pretty upfront about, but the one thing I didn't get is he was kind of saying like, "Fuck yeah, I've changed. Of course I've changed." When you could tell it was eating away at him, it's in some sense, because he was always half embracing it, half denying it,
Yeah, he was also never, you could tell he hated it like the last year plus. As soon as the Portnoy show stopped.
There was something interesting, and I think it was Kirk that pointed this out after he did the interview with Dave, that he said he shit all over the horse racing part of the app. Like, for anyone that doesn't know, Barstool Sportsbook has a horse racing, or they have a gambling app, and they have a horse racing section on that app. And Portnoy goes, "Yeah, I don't use it. I use fucking DraftKings or something." And that has to be like, look, now in hindsight, like I said, I think Kirk was talking about the time, but with hindsight now, you can look back and say, "Oh yeah, he was definitely." Pretty frustrated with Penn National. So I think he was looking at it and saying, from a content perspective, we have to pull back and can't do what we were doing before, but also the changes they're making basically into making us a gambling company. That's not going the way I expected it to go either. So I think he kind of felt like he was losing on both fronts, maybe.
That makes sense to me, actually.
Let's hear a little more.
Denied licenses because of me, you name it. So the regulated industry, probably not the best place for Barstool Sports and the type of content we make.
This is where, when I was talking about the Mincy thing, this is where I said I don't even blame Penn National. Like, I just think they shouldn't have bought Barstool. And again, I guess I was right. Because they clear, and I bet the Mincy thing was what made them finally realize, because that wasn't that long ago. That was like 2 months ago, something like that.
Feels like ages ago now.
I know, but it was fairly recently, I think, and it must have been them looking at that and saying, "Oh, there's going to be other things." And this is exactly what I said at the time, where if fire Mincy, go ahead. They're going to find audio of Kevin, Dave, Kirk, Feidelberg, anyone that's made jokes at that company. They could probably find something about Big Cat. I know Big Cat's a snuggly teddy bear, the nicest guy in the world. But I'm sure if they dug through audio or video from 2014, you could find something that's offensive now. And if that's going to scare off regulators, and if regulators are the people that you have to appease, then Barstool Sports isn't the company for you, unless what you have to do is get rid of Portnoy. And then it makes no sense to have Barstool Sports. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Let's continue.
And was able to broker an unbelievable deal with ESPN. We wish them nothing but the best in their endeavors.
Do you believe that? Actually, you know what?
I do. Yeah.
I didn't until I just said that because he got the whole company back for $1.
Yeah. Why? It seemed like they had a perfectly fine relationship.
Yeah. What is that guy?
I genuinely believe that. I've not seen anything that would indicate like Penn didn't fuck them over in any way. Here's what I don't understand. So I actually ran into someone in Hampton Beach the other night that a gentleman asked me about. He goes, "Hey, how about Portnoy getting the company back?" And he goes, "How much did he asked me how much he had to pay?" And I said, "I probably have this wrong. I think $0."
I've heard $0 and $1.
So I guess where that breaks down is if he ever sells Barstool again, which he says in this video that he won't, but say some crazy deal happens, Penn gets 50% of that. Now they just bought the entire company. So basically they sold the whole company and kept 50% if there's ever a deal made. That's still a great deal on Portnoy. Because I saw some TikTok video where a guy was like, "Here's the catch. Penn gets 50% if they ever sell." I'm like, yeah, no. They're like, that's the fine print that they don't tell you. I was like, that's still an amazing deal. Basically, if they sell Barstool for $1 billion, Portnoy gets $500 million.
That's quite nice. That is a deal and a half.
It's fucking insane. Here's what I don't understand is now everyone is celebrating. Like, guys, the tyranny is over. Barstool is back.
So that's everyone but Dave.
Right. And that's what I don't get, where it's like, hey, you guys haven't been, and believe me, because people have gotten very angry with me for some reason when I've said that Barstool has changed. So apparently it hasn't. Penn put no restrictions on them. And yet you get like KFC going, finally, we can do Barstool Radio again. As I think the great Ziggy Robinson suggested this to me. And I asked him, is there anything specific that KFC has said? And he's like, no, it's really just his general attitude about all this. So for anyone that doesn't remember, Barstool had their own SiriusXM channel. And from what I had heard, they were the second most successful channel on that platform while they were there to Howard Stern. At least talk comedy, however they break it up. They brought their audience to SiriusXM. That deal was not beneficial to them anymore. They didn't get what they were asking for and just said, buzz off, Sirius. We don't need you.
Well, yeah, especially with Penn owning it, they got almost nothing, I imagine, for doing it. And Dave would always say, too, he didn't get paid extra to do it.
Well, that's probably how it works with all of them. Anyone that has a show there, it's kind of just, you're not, I don't know how it works for most people. I'm sure in your negotiations, you can be like, hey, I want a little extra money because I do, 3 hours a day of Barstool Radio or whatever. But yeah, I think it's just like you're doing content all day, every day. And that's what we pay you for, basically, is usually how they break it down, I think. So yeah, they weren't, it gave them no benefit to do Barstool Radio. But I remember at the time, Hank Lockwood saying, hey, we're going to do Barstool Radio. We're just going to keep doing it on YouTube and Twitch, and now we own it. And SiriusXM doesn't control it, and we can do longer shows if we want, and video and all that kind of stuff. And then it just never happened. Now, this is like KFC, as Ziggy Robinson said, gaslighting the audience into thinking he's been silenced, and finally he's freed from the shackles.
Yeah, because now they're just doing what he could have done the whole time. And
he could have been doing this for 3 years. Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Unless, he took your ideas for Barstool Comedy, then he's correct, right? Is that the
Well, I'll talk about that.
You want to continue this?
Oh, let me hear. No, I want to play the KFC video now.
All right. The one where he's boasting about Barstool Radio.
Yeah, finally, these jerks at Penn National have been silencing this man for so long. Finally, Barstool Radio's back.
Let me tell you something. I started KFC Radio like 15 years ago. That's my baby.
Keep in mind, he's walking through his brand new $1 million home.
Also, keep in mind, like, nothing happened. It's like, just 15 years ago, I was a boy with 2 very bad knees out of Dayton, Ohio.
Let me tell you something. I started KFC Radio like 15 years ago. That's my baby. I've been doing that forever. I love every second of it. I started 1 Minute Man, the first iterations of that in like 2007.
Here I sit at the mountaintop, reflecting upon a career. What is this? What's happening?
I don't know. This has to be just over the top promotion that it's coming back, right?
Yes.
He doesn't mean it.
A billion.
Although I don't know if you saw this too. He just gave like a random employee $1,000. Just
Who? Kevin?
yeah, he did like a it was like in celebration of the deal or whatever. He made a like a wheel like the Yak does, and it landed on, I believe it was Michelangelo. And
Okay.
he's like, "Wow, you're $1,000 richer. I put it up myself."
Well, that's nice of him, I guess. Charitable guy.
Yeah.
In view video series. I started Answer the Internet, which has some of the biggest videos on YouTube. Plus, we turned it into a card game.
Oh, can we start from conception? How was first grade tough for you, Kevin? Why are we going back this far? Dave pulled off the deal of a life. I've never read about, seen, heard anything like this, where you sell a company, you have it evaluated for $500 million. I'm sorry, and you get that company back for essentially nothing. That's the heist of a lifetime. What Dave did is incredible, and here's Kevin saying, "Well, it all culminated in this."
Countless videos, podcasts. I've written 50,000 blogs in my lifetime. Nothing makes me feel more alive than Barstool Radio. Barstool Radio.
Why weren't you doing it? Why weren't you doing it, Kevin? I don't understand. That's like if right now I was like, guys, nothing makes me feel more alive than more on money. I'm just actively choosing to not do it and haven't done it in about a year.
You know what would have been smart is if you made basically the same video for more on money and just start doing it again.
Kevin has felt not alive. He's been in a comatose state since Barstool Radio has been gone for like 2 years, and Kevin has just been walking around without a purpose, just 1,000-yard stare.
2 days, we are firing on all cylinders. Everybody in the office getting involved. We got drama. We've got intrigue. We've got rivalries. We've got honesty. We've got people shaking.
You think Kevin would see? So the Yak has been going on since Barstool Radio ended. They still do the Yak every day, which was
they went, I really loved this radio show. Let's continue doing it.
Yeah, so that was a Barstool Radio show. They kept doing it every day, and they have a rotating cast of characters. So it's not like Dan's not in every single day. But the majority of those guys are on, most days. Do you think like when Kevin would see them in the hallway, he's like, "Hey, I won't tell anyone. Your secret's safe with me, guys. Don't sweat it."
How are you guys doing that?
I'll keep it on the hush hush, but be careful. Penn National might come after you.
We got people cheering, crying, and everything in between. It is going to be the most compelling radio show in the game. That's a promise. Every Monday through Thursday, 2:30 p.m. on the Barstool Sports YouTube.
Why wasn't it?
They still had the radio room.
What was stopping you? Yeah, they have I've seen it. They have a beautiful studio in there, and it's right in the center of the office. It's like glass, and it's right in the middle of the office. So anytime someone walks by, if they want to talk about them or to them, pop right in. It's the perfect setup. And yet Kevin has been like, the shackles of the gambling industry have weighed on me for so long.
Now, he must just think he's going to say something that would have got them in trouble with Penn, right? Is that what it is?
No, it's not. Because this is what Kevin does. He ends mail time and brings it back and has this, oh my God, this was everything I ever dreamed of. And then he rebrands it the Kevin Clancy Show. And he's like, oh, well, finally, I get to do what I want. This is the message he always has, is like, finally, we get to do this. And Barstool Comedy was the same way, where he's like, finally, the handcuffs are taken off of me. And then he doesn't do anything with it. It's weird. This Barstool, by the Kevin Clancy rule, Barstool Radio will be done within a year, I assume.
Plus, the combo of him and Portnoy was what made it good.
I always liked Lisa Gonzalez. I thought she was the best part.
Lisa.
Is that her name?
No, it's
Liz Gonzalez. I'm sorry.
See that you liked it that much.
Yeah, so I don't know, but that's what frustrates me. So like the idea I had for like Barstool comedy was basically making Barstool, that section of Barstool, into like what Comedy Central was, and you can use the relationships you have with a lot of these comedians to do what a lot of YouTube channels like All Things Comedy and Guest Digital starting to do it, and individuals are doing it on their own. Like Joe List is releasing another special this week. You could take that and be the promotion of that the way Comedy Central was in the 90s. And you could use the system you have for like Rough and Rowdy for pay-per-views the way like Andrew Schultz did it and Gillian Keeves and people like that. So like I had ideas that I wanted to contribute, whereas Kevin's like, wouldn't it be cool if we just had a Twitter handle that said Barstool Comedy and things like that?
What if we do KFC Radio Live instead?
It's like, I'm trying to help you, you dick bag. I wouldn't make anything out of this. I'm trying to help you.
Now, Mike, would you have gone there with, I don't know, maybe a show dedicated to comedy that takes an angle that none of them are taking?
Well, what's funny is, so then this is another thing I got was I tweeted like the Portnoy's back or something. And a bunch of the replies to that tweet were like, hey, when are you going back now? Now, that's why I think the KFC thing interested me. Because I got this, I was like, why would people think anything would be different now? You know what I mean? Like, what? It wasn't like, hey, Jay Snowden, fuck you, I'm not working there.
I mean, I'll say that you were right in this situation, but Dave's definitely not going to.
Well, no, my point is more like people were like, oh, you should work, you should try and get a job with Barstool now. And the reason I don't work at Barstool is I was like, they don't like me there. Like Kirk is nice enough to have offered me a job there, but like I have no interest in like working for Barstool because they don't have any interest in me. I thought that was kind of a thing. So I tweeted and said, I'm not sure new ownership loves me. I thought that was an obvious thing. And people are like, not with that attitude, Mike.
Yeah, people,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, the obvious jokes people miss on Twitter sometimes blow my mind.
I'm like, what do you think? I've made Dave not let? What do you mean? It's a known thing.
You were gonna nuke the Penn deal right from the jump anyway.
I finally did it, actually.
Yes, right.
Finally, at long last, my dreams have come true.
We got super chat from Chad's Black Eye.
Oh, we do take super chats, folks. I forget. We do read them on this program.
I need to have Carl make me a jingle for it.
Yes.
Love you guys. P.S. Why You Laughing is criminally underrated.
Well, not according. Did you see Greg Poehler taking shots at us?
I did. And your idea is a good one.
That felt a little like he sent his 80th tweet about Succession, and he's like, all right, what else can get me a little juice on Twitter?
Yeah, we'll do an episode entitled Amy Poehler's Brother.
Well, here's the weird thing. I responded that only because I thought I was like supposed to. So there's a point in the Pee Wee Herman episode of Why You Laughing where I mentioned, and this wasn't like shitting on Pee Wee. I don't know if he took it that way, but I was like, there's guys that are in improv that are like afraid to do stand-up. This was a quote from Paul Rubens that I was taking that from. And what he was able to do is basically create a character that's afraid of doing stand-up, and that's what ended up making him successful. Like, it's pretty genius.
Right.
And Greg was like, sounds like somebody else I know, meaning me, I guess.
Which we'll get to the stand-up topic later on in the program.
Well, first of all, I was like, no, I've always said I would suck at stand. Like, if I devoted my life to writing stand-up, I don't think I would be particularly good. That's why I don't do it.
Right.
But also, it's weird for someone to listen to Why You Laughing. So I just gave him, like, I said, oh, we should do a Greg Poehler episode. That would really be mocking stand-up or something, you know, a boom roasted sort of moment. Who gives a fuck? Because I guess that's what we were doing. We're roasting each other. But in my mind, I was like, do you listen to Why You Laughing and think I'm mocking stand-up? Like, that's why I'm going into the excruciating minutia of Mort Saul's life, is to finally give stand-up the business.
Maybe he just listened to the Tom Myers one. I don't know.
But even that, I think we treat Tom with respect.
Yeah, even
Like it's titled Tom Meyer's the worst comedian in the world. But even that, we're giving him more credit than we probably should. And I say of Tom, like, I'm kind of jealous of his ego. Like, I wish I had that.
right. Super Raiders 09 with a super sticker. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Patrick Michael, super chat. Mike, remember when Dave yelled at you to shut the fuck up, Mike?
Yes, that's what I was alluding to a moment ago.
And
No, I don't remember, actually.
Booler with the super chat. Mike, thoughts on clout chasing Craig?
Well, we'll get to that. Don't worry, Booler. We'll get to all of that in due time. I see Craig, you know, a prettier gal walks by with a shorter skirt. All of a sudden,
I was invited nicely.
yeah, what a sweetheart.
Yeah.
What the hell was going on? I watched. So Craig was on with Carl, and I turn it on, and there's a Bills song playing.
Oh yeah.
And there's guys I don't know. Craig might have been the biggest star power on this panel at the time that I tuned in.
Friend of the program, Vito Giswaldi, was on the show at one point.
Yes, Vito did pop in briefly.
No, it was a creep off consequence, and he's like, "Do you want to come on?" I was like, "Sure." And
so was he just looking for the biggest, like, what makes this the worst possible show?
No, he was. I don't know if you
How
saw.
do I ruin this for the audience?
It was about 18 people on the show. It's a tough spot, but it was just so he didn't have to hear the song and he could talk over it.
Gotcha.
He had to listen to the Bills shout song for 2 hours straight.
Wow, these guys get wacky over there on the creep off.
You sure do.
I talk about shock. You should have taught him about shock jocks while you were on there, but I guess it seems like they already know everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang Lizard, £2, £pounds.
That's less than dollars. Thanks for nothing.
You don't like us very much. We know Barstool thinks Mike can't read the room.
I've never heard that. That's very good.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, but yeah, all in all, here's where I get in trouble. Here's why they hate. I shouldn't say get in trouble. Here's why they dislike me. Is like, I think they take me doing that as like a fuck that. I just think it's funny to analyze that shit. And I do think it's dumb the way KFC behaves. But I think you could say that about people and it not be like a relationship ruining thing. Like, just think about the things they've said about me. I don't hate them, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. They take it very seriously when you hold up any sort of light to them.
I come buckets with the super chat. Mike is jealous of Vito because he can't read a room.
That's good. It gets better every time.
It is. It's gonna be those ones. It won't be funny in like 2 or 3, but like 5 or 6, it'll be funny again.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Brennan is unraveling. It seems like
it does seem that way.
Jesus Christ, he has like he's having all kinds of technical issues, and he's having terrible guests on. And granted, he deletes his episodes from YouTube, so I'm getting most of this from Carl. But it seems like a rough scene over there on Misery Loves Company.
Yeah, and the changing like the format of the show, like because I think
Scandals and Animals.
Yeah, I think I was listening to WATP which episode, but Carl was like, "Yeah, reading super chats isn't going to last forever."
Yeah, I would think not. I would think eventually people will get sick of donating every day because the same people donating to him every day. That's not sustainable, I don't think.
I don't think so, but some people seem to have endless money.
Well, thank you, folks. We appreciate it.
Drew P. Ball, super sticker. Thank you, sir.
Oh, Drew, I'm sorry, buddy. You're about to hear from one of the Hever de Grace 5, and he is... You know what? Let's bring him on because I want to ask him how this compares now that we've talked about Craig. And what it really probably comes down to is that Craig's britches a little too small for him these days.
Well, they're too big. I'm losing lots of weight. You know what I mean?
I have heard that. That's another thing. Craig's one of these guys on Ozempic.
Nope.
He's become a big star.
I'm not on Ozempic. I don't.
Yeah, he does Carl's show. He does the Ozempic. He's a big deal now, and he doesn't have time. He's gonna ditch me eventually.
No, never.
I said the people he really doesn't have time for.
I said I would never leave, and that's true.
The people he really doesn't have time for are the peons, like Justin Trudeau.
Oh, okay. Here he is. I
Hello.
got a bone to pick then. if
Hey,
that's-
Justin,
You have a bone to pick, motherfucker. You have a bone to pick. You have a bone to pick with me. With me? No, Craig. No, Craig. No, Craig. You can't. No. You don't have a bone to pick with me, motherfucker.
All right.
I have a bone to pick with you.
All right. You're gonna read.
I have a bone to
Justin
pick
is
with
fired.
you.
I understand you have the bone to pick, but I did offer my services still.
Okay. So Craig and the Madoff Corporation have gotten into bed with something happening with Scott Stapp and the Cape Cod Premier League. I don't know what's going on.
He plays blueberry jam festivals all over the country.
Yeah. So
We
Craig,
don't have any witnesses here that have seen him, so it was advertised that he did play, but no one I know has seen him.
So Justin, I'm going to let you set this up, but I'll do the best I can to give you the floor here. Craig stole my idea for Gearhead meetups.
Correct.
Didn't ask me to be involved, shunned me from it, and
All right. I mean, you would not have
chose
done-
not to promote it on this show for some reason. But there was a contingency.
No, he did promote it on this show. He used your audience to promote this.
Oh,
this was
yeah,
happening.
we fucking go.
Oh, okay.
He mentioned that there was a Scott Stapp meetup happening in Falmouth
You
on
see
this
your
program.
fucking face, dude.
So there was a Scott Stapp meetup happening in Falmouth. Any of you that went to the Brendan Shaw meetup that we did, obviously the Tom Myers Phan meetup that we did, Matt McCusker we have done, and I think we'll do another serious one in the fall. I'm not exactly sure which yet, but we've got our sights set. Or you know what? Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just say we're going to do it and then not. Justin, go ahead.
So, Craig,
Yep.
you host a podcast, very good show.
Thank
And
you.
I believe it was the that was not it. That's the name of the podcast. It's a very good show.
It's certainly not a description. Yeah.
Definitely not. If only it's almost like that was a mocking title I made on purpose. Continue.
So, are you familiar with what the June 12th episode was called? A very good show.
yes, I do.
What was it called?
Something along the lines of Scott Stapp meetup or something like that.
VGS Meetup.
Okay.
Do you know what the description of that podcast was?
Justin, why don't you tell us?
It was bullet point Scott, bullet point Stapp, bullet point rules, bullet point VGS Meetup happening in August.
Can I ask, Justin, you're a little younger than me. You're more in touch with the kids. Are the bullet
Yes.
points to kind of show like attention, like guy, holy shit.
Yes.
Yes.
Scott fucking Stapp
God, fucking Stapp.
and
dude.
VGS are finally crossing over.
You never thought you'd see it.
Okay, all right.
So
So, Justin, you're telling me there was an episode dedicated to getting the loyal VGS followers
The
to go to
VGB.
site.
Now, don't
VGB,
talk.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't talk out of turn here, Justin. You know that was the last 4 minutes of the episode.
Craig.
It was the title and description of the episode.
Yeah, we talked about Scott Stapp a lot.
Okay, guys, tentative
Oh, I hate
August
that one,
12th. We're
please.
going to see Scott Stapp.
All right. Lenny Clark's at
Okay. Pause.
12.
Pause.
Whoa.
Did I say tentative or
Hold on.
definitely?
Yeah,
Oh,
Craig, you might want to stand down for a minute.
That is the first clip.
I've heard some of these. I'm just a mediator here.
I will say too that episode we were mostly just playing Scott Stapp playing at like SeaWorld and
Yes.
Bacon
Yep.
Fest 2014. I don't know.
So is your thing the entire thing that this entire thing was because I have 9 clips here.
No, no.
Throughout the past month.
Hey, I was planning on going until 4 days ago, where I'll get
That's the
to.
day before Matt's birthday. What day of the week is August 12th, 2023?
Yeah.
Saturday.
All right.
My sacrifice.
Can we just more or
Now,
less
now
say we're
granted,
doing
this
that?
is the first episode.
Yeah.
This is the first time
We'll
you brought
discuss
this
in
up,
our
so I
office
can
after
understand
the
the
show's
meeting.
over.
Yeah.
The logistics.
Still
This is a-
fun.
You said it was in
Horrible show.
Falmouth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
What
what
we
happened.
play?
I don't know why I was still going.
Now, Justin, I would recommend we can get back to some of your other clips if you'd like, because I can tell Justin's very fired up. But I would recommend clips 6 and 8 were probably where things really get good. So Craig's been promoting for weeks this Scott Stapp meetup.
It was mentioned on pretty much every single episode that there was going.
The chat, I can see in the chat. My argument is backed up so far.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
So
Anyway, it did not happen. It was supposed to happen last night. Craig put out an episode on Friday, the day
hold on,
before.
Justin, let's get there. Let's get there.
True.
Because I think Justin is backed up. Now I have a board of people. It's a very secretive group. They don't even know they're on it. That I kind of
You don't think
I take the temperature with them and see how Craig's doing over there on Very Good Show. And they're very disappointed with him as well. And these are VGS loyalists. So I think Justin has a point to be made here. So Justin, please.
I'm not saying he doesn't.
So you want?
I'm about to shove some big fat idiots under a bus, though.
And that's it. That's all I do.
But yeah, so if you guys want to go,
this is the worst thing ever.
It's gonna be a fair, so that kind of rules.
What time? Hold on. What time does Scott Stapp go on?
I don't care.
He's not gonna show up. That'd be the funniest part.
Oh, he will. he gets like $50 and like a meal ticket.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Fucking chowder festivals and shit.
But that's actually happening. So, I'm gonna get.
I'm sorry. What did I just hear?
I missed that one.
Just if you could go back just a bit.
Chowder festivals and shit.
But that's actually happening. So,
the show itself.
I'm gonna get Matt front row Scott Stapp hammered.
It sounds like this is actually happening. That's what I heard.
Sounds like it's actually happening.
It sounds like I was describing that the show itself was actually happening.
All right, Justin, clip number 8, if you wouldn't mind.
No. Just been on the fucking Chowder Fest, dude.
I'm gonna go. I'm not going through the Cape Cod Fairgrounds. I guarantee you can find cheaper tickets. But whatever, we're doing that, so you guys better get your fucking tickets, and you better all be there.
Yeah, you can buy mine though.
You better all be there. Hold on. Rewind that again, Justin. For, the threats are what I'm most focused on.
I heard it.
Find cheaper tickets. But whatever, we're doing that, so you guys better get your fucking tickets, and you better all be there.
Yeah, you can buy mine though.
You're fucking. I'm gonna get all 3 with the Patreon. Cool.
Whoa!
Bitch.
I mean, put your cock away, sir. My goodness, this is a family show. Jesus. We're gonna use the Patreon money we've been fleecing out of these people to get ourselves some tickets.
Yeah.
So that wasn't from the initial episode. That was from the one actually Mike had me listen to on the way back from Madawaska.
Right. Well,
Gay David Hogg, where
you're losing me on your side here.
Where all 3 of them, Craig, Matt, and Tim, say that they're planning on going to this event.
Yeah,
so
it was said pretty clearly, and it was also said under threat of the worst thing you could be in the VGS world, and that's if you don't buy tickets, you're gay. So the legitimate threats were made to get people to go to this thing.
I bought a ticket.
You did buy a ticket?
I did.
One for yourself?
Yeah.
Now that's suspicious.
Well, Matt.
You say there that you were going to buy tickets for the boys.
Yeah, I know. Then Matt, I was going to buy them.
What made you buy one ticket? Oh, Justin, there's a thread here we better pull on.
A thread?
Go ahead. Why'd you buy one ticket?
Well, I didn't actually end up purchasing it because Matt.
Okay. Justin, that was easier than I thought.
No.
You just said you bought one ticket.
I know. I know what I said. I know what I said. So, 2 days.
Well, I did look at the website.
So on the Patreon, when I find out that Matt can't go because he's got something in Connecticut, I already knew Tim couldn't go.
That's a bullshit excuse. Also,
what?
Why, something in Connecticut is not a great excuse.
I have his excuse here. It's not something in Connecticut. Where is it?
No, I'm not happy with this.
He looks weird as fuck.
Oh, what up, guys?
I like that Justin leaves the color in to really paint the picture of what a
I know.
fun show VGS is.
Nuts.
It's got a lot of fat on either end of
What's
these
going on,
clips.
fellas? Oh, I guess we should say right off the bat, Scott Stapp is canceled.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what, Justin? I'm sorry. Go back a little bit because I meant. Shame on me. I meant to paint the picture here. Craig has been threatening his audience for weeks, saying, "You better go to this, you queers.
Yep.
Buy these tickets, you group of pole smokers, or else."
It's the first ever VGS meetup.
Yeah, first
gonna be a
ever.
blast.
We've stolen Mike's idea, even though he's been very good to us. We decided to stab him in the back, and we're doing this.
It's at a fairgrounds in Falmouth.
Yeah.
There's a couple clips where you guys say like, "Oh, it's going to be great. It's an all-day thing. We're just going to get shit-faced, rocking out to Scott's staff.
Having
it's
fun with the boys.
Going to be a great time. Going to be a great time. Be there. Be there. You're gay." And I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm not gay. I better fucking be there." So the day.
Well, hold on. I'm just setting up the image here.
Yes.
Because I'm picturing two things I've always fantasized about. I've never had the ability to do either of these, but I've always dreamed of them. One, I'm driving in my car, and two, I'm a listener of Very Good Show.
Fantasyland.
And so I've decided, hey, I bought my ticket under threat of death or sodomy or whatever the case may be. I bought my ticket to see Scott Stapp. I'm going to save my favorite podcast, Very Good Show, for the drive up on, when was the show? Today?
Yesterday.
Last night.
So I'm going to save this podcast for the drive up. I get in the car and I hear this.
We all can't be on top of it.
Greg, I swear to God.
Look at these two.
Weird as fuck.
Oh, what up, guys?
I'm whistling down the street.
Nuts. The drip nuts. So what's going on, fellers? Oh, I guess we should say right off the bat, Scott Stapp is canceled.
Yeah.
Screech.
Yeah, fuck that. And I'm not going
already in Cape traffic.
I have to turn around on the Mass Pike. Because I'm a fucking asshole that believed the ruse that you were pulling on people.
Unreal. So Matt can go see. So what is this band from Japan?
I have no fucking idea, dude. No idea.
So he just, and you know what my major point is that I think Matt got off way too easy for this, and you are getting off way too easy on this as well.
I still said I was going.
No. Greg, you 100% said I'm not going to go by
Tim said
myself.
the whole time he wasn't going, so that's fine.
Pretty much, yeah.
I totally fucking
okay.
dropped
So
on that.
on the Patreon,
There's a band
and
from Japan who's never gonna come here again.
the Patreon and the Twitter chat for the show, I was checking with everyone. I'm like, who's going? Because I'm still gonna go. No one was going. So I was like, all right.
Well, I gotta say, this argument doesn't hold water because we're talking to a boy who's holding a singular ticket in hand.
That's nice.
Wishing he could have gone to a show.
So Justin texted me.
So I texted him furious.
And I was like, oh, you're going. Let's fucking go. That was my immediate response.
Well, my point to that is, where's
It's not a VGS meetup.
Correct.
No, I agree with that.
I
You've tarnished.
I texted you.
You've tarnished the VGS brand with this.
I'm the only one that is responsible on VGS. So Justin's just taking his frustrations with Matt out on me right now.
Well, you should be. It's your show.
I put 80% of this on you.
It's your show. I put 100% on you.
No, that's fair. That's fair, I guess.
I texted you, WTF, Scott Stapp isn't happening. Shake my head. You said, fucking bullshit. Matt bailed because he forgot.
If people bought tickets for Havre de Grace and I was like, well, Craig can't go, so have fun down there, losers.
Well, I checked to see who would be going, and no one was going.
I guess Justin's not enough for you. Now, I come from a world where, listen, it's all about perspective. Maybe I could teach you something here today. Because on the Kirk Minahan show, this show that you're on right now would be considered nothing. Kirk just sold out a yet another live show, thousands of people he performed in front of. So when we get fucking 10 people to go see Brendan Schaub, Kirk would look at that as nothing. But to me, I can't treat it that way because that's the audience that I have. So you can't look at one person as, well, fuck that guy. Who cares about him? Because I'll speak for the gearheads. We care about Justin Trudeau, even if you don't.
No, I see what Craig's saying here, where he's like, well, if you wanted to go, but then it's no longer. It's funny if it's a meetup where Matt bailed, so Craig's by himself, and then it's just me, and me and Craig look around and go, I can't believe we're the only people that showed up to this. If you already announced you're not going on the podcast, and then you're like, well, I'll go with Justin. Then it's just me and Justin went to a Scott Stapp concert.
Right, because who knows? You said on the podcast, maybe there are people that don't interact with you that were still like, yeah, I'm going to go. That seems like fun. There's probably some schmuck out there that was wandering around Scott Stapp looking for friends last
Worst
night.
case scenario.
In his very good show shirt.
You got to see Scott. You got to see Scott Stapp in his golden pipes. Worst case.
That's not much of an excuse to me.
Worst
I
case,
know.
worst case,
I mean-
you've made a mortal enemy with someone out there who now hates Very Good Show. Burning passion. Is going to go.
I think more people
Postal.
hate Very Good Show with a burning passion than enjoy it.
I just
Justin,
think you did,
what does
you
this
did your most
mean?
loyal.
What does this mean to you?
It breaks my heart. It broke my heart to hear that.
My heart too. I get
Craig,
two fucking
you're the one who
thumbs I do a
just-
podcast with.
And also, like, just from a content perspective, it would have been like, well, Matt can't go. Looks like I'm going by my fucking self then. If anyone else wants to come, and then you could shit all over. You make Tim do all these punishments where he has to have fingers in his butt.
I don't make him. He's fucking pusses out, and we have to.
But I don't know. I think you got off way too easy on this. I truthfully don't think you wanted to. I think you thought to yourself, you're like, oh, fuck the VGB. Any of these people
Well,
want
that
to go.
is just
It
preposterous.
was a fuck you to the listeners, and I'll say,
I just saved a VGB member last weekend.
Craig saying I'm heartbroken too is kind of like if Alba was like, "Hey, we have to have dinner with my parents tonight," and I was sitting on the couch and I was like, "I just can't do it." Listen, I'm in shambles over this, but I just can't do it. Meanwhile, I'm just eating pizza in my underwear.
Yeah, Box Eating Dad says Nancy Shannon was searching for you. That's very funny. Very funny image.
And I don't think there's been a more loyal supporter of the Very Good Show boys than me.
That's a
agree with
fact. That's a fact.
And I was heartbroken, and it's going to take some time.
But
to
some might
mend.
say that you are feeding Matt's other interests by showing up at his concerts.
Neither of us know how to respond to that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm feeding his
Your
other
Honor,
interests.
Your Honor, I rest
Preposterously
my case.
Justin, do you have any other clips you'd like to play?
And I also think too
That's
that
the worst part. Stop playing my me
here.
talking.
Oh, and in case you don't think like, oh, they canceled this. There's a bigger, grander scheme, grander plans.
Yes, cruise would be fun.
That would be fun.
Well, sure, yes.
Yes.
They could play a game of like pin the dildo on Mike Harris or some shit.
If Mike doesn't go,
Who do
we're
they start
putting like
shitting on?
cutouts in every room, like you're hanging out with him.
Does Craig scroll Instagram and see
We'll have a
Bert
glory
Kreischer
hole.
and just think
We're-
like, I'm one step away?
I want to be that.
So I am going on a cruise next week to somewhere, Bermuda or someplace. I'm going Friday to Friday next week. Imagine on the way there, if it was the VGS cruise, me and my family would be driving there. And then we would hear on the radio. We'd go, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was just
Craig's sailing away, waving at you. Bye-bye, Justin.
we're not going. Yeah, it turns out one of the line cooks can't make it. So
I tried.
me as the captain. What's the point in fucking doing this?
I tried to get everyone's input. I really forgot to ask Justin.
That is great. That is great with hindsight.
But everyone's input, Craig, you have a podcast that goes out to the public and you say, hey, on the public platform, you're like, hey, people show up here. And then you ask
you
Box
better
Eating
do
Dad,
this
you
or
ask
you're gay.
Box Eating Dad in Long Island and McFuss Daddy in fucking Georgia. You're like, hey, so are you guys going up to this thing? Not thinking maybe you have a couple fans that are in Massachusetts or New Hampshire?
I asked around before I made the announcement, and no one was going.
Asked around.
I asked around.
I was so ready to just be shit faced with Craig.
What I love,
I was too.
Hands in the air.
What I love about that clip though is the guy you see before you is a man that's been beaten down and thought he had no one to go to the show with. But there was a moment where he's like, guys, when this Scott Stapp thing takes off, get ready to buy the yacht. We don't even have to rent it.
No. It was just going to be fun.
We've got a cruise in the works.
It was going to be fun seeing Scott Stapp, the smell of cow manure in the fucking air, pigs walking around, because that's all he can do now.
Hey, do you guys not only want to be trapped on a boat with us, but we're gonna, shove a wiffle ball bat up Matt's ass? Wouldn't that be fun?
Sad. I think it broke my heart. I called Mike. Mike's on vacation on Friday, and I call him, and I'm just in tears. I'm like, Mike, you won't believe what happened. He's like,
I had
no.
to console him.
He goes. Tell me it has nothing to do with Scott Stapp. I go, Mike, it has everything to do with Scott Stapp. It has everything to do with Scott Stapp.
I'm driving Alba's car home.
Yeah.
We gotta get back.
You can't see.
Yeah, it was all very troubling.
But
Yeah, I agree with everything Justin said.
But how can you agree with what I said, Greg? You were the one who canceled it.
I can still agree with you. It's possible.
That it shouldn't have been canceled.
Well, I
Let's
said
find out who canceled this. He's in for something.
Justin, I'm with you. We're gonna get this guy's head on a skewer.
As soon as you said you were going, I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
But Craig, you don't see the difference between
I
canceling
know
it and then being like, oh, me and Justin just ended up going to the Scott Stapp concert because I told everyone else not to. And also, like, I'm speaking right now for,
the tens of people. Yes, we got
for Bob.
He is. That's true.
For Bob in Middleborough,
Yes.
who might not have a Twitter presence, who doesn't have, and imagine his thought.
He's one of my favorites.
If
Bob
he
in
listens to, Very Good Show the next week, and he goes, yeah, so you know how I said it was canceled? Yeah, so me and Justin ended up going. It's like you can't.
That's another good point. But hey, Justin, you know what? I'm as pissed about this as anybody, and I swear, once we find the bastard,
you gotta find someone that went.
We're gonna give him his comeuppance when we find this son of a gun that was running this thing.
All right, well, I guess I'll have to take a punishment and find the next Scott Stapp concert and go to it.
Well, here's what it really does, though. Here's where it damages the VGS brand. Is you already have this guy Tim.
Yep.
Who says he's going to do these punishments that you guys do, and he never does them. And now it's just, oh, okay, top to bottom, this is a show that says they're going to do something and doesn't. That's the VGS brand now.
Yeah, I'll make up for it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you got to do something. And I'm just saying, if Mike did this, you guys would have ripped him a new asshole.
There's also significantly more people that listen to this and would have gone.
You can't treat it like that.
That's true.
Because that's what I'm saying about perspective. Where, if we did this to Kirk, or if I did this on this show and I brought it to Kirk's show, he would probably look at it and say, "Who gives a fuck? It's 12 people. I could sell it to Wilbur." But you can't think of your own show that way. You see?
That's right. Yeah. I agree. But Justin, rack your brain. I'll have to have my come to Jesus over this. So think of what I should do to make up for it.
Were there any other clips you wanted to play, Justin? Those were pretty scintillating.
This is how Craig sometimes starts the show.
Come shit and fart.
Hell yeah.
Whoa! Justin, you didn't brace me for shock.
This has nothing to do with the argument.
Justin, you didn't get me ready to have my balls
the guy that
blown
plays
off.
an Iron Gate.
This has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Wait, let me hear that again.
Now it's just mean.
Let me hold on to my hat so my hair doesn't blow back.
Fart. Come shit and fart.
Hell yeah.
Whoa,
Fuck yeah.
These guys are nuts.
I'm not reading that. That's funny though.
I took work off last night. So excited. I was going to drive down, just get shit faced.
I would say you definitely owe Justin.
And also, this
made a Grill on the Hill.
I think this was a shot at the police too. It was a police festival. It was like a Blue Lives Matter festival.
Really? Was it really?
Yes.
It was.
Oh, so you don't stand with the police?
It was bands for badges. I think it was what it was called.
Okay, so that's what this is about. Is you're kind of a Black Lives Matter guy?
That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
I see.
What are you saying? I owe Justin dinner at Grill on the Hill?
No, I think if Justin took work off, I think you owe him the night's pay.
Or how about let me produce Jerry's show once? Just don't tell him. let me hop on.
So
let me just hop on and just have a good time with my pal Jerry.
I'm legitimately going on vacation on Friday.
So am I.
And then, oh fuck! I was gonna say, it would be easy.
Craig, I'm telling you this now. Never have me on with Jerry. Okay, do not have me on with Jerry for your own sake.
I think you should.
Yeah, you'd get paid.
Yeah, Craig, you wouldn't the next week for having me on. It's the problem.
Hey, as long as the show gets up,
That's true. To get up, that's all that really matters. What are we looking for?
Well, how do we resolve this, boys? Justin, what could make it better for you?
Know.
And keep in mind, you're speaking on behalf of all the fans here.
Yeah, no, I need my punishment.
I'm not sure. I mean, I saw a bunch of people in Plymouth, last weekend. And I will say a couple of them came to me. I'm not going to say who. Makes a great pizza, but he came up to me. She's like, Justin, something's going on with VGS. He goes, something's going on with VGS, and
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the punishment should be. I just know that for a show that used to rip on Mike Harris constantly, this is more egregious than any bomb Mike Harris ever
I say with certainty, Mike Harris would not have done this.
Correct.
He wouldn't.
Mike Harris wouldn't have let this happen.
Yeah, he wouldn't have. He would have said he was not going the whole time.
From the
Maybe,
beginning,
maybe so. We wouldn't have gotten anyone's hopes up. That's for sure.
Bueller super chat. Does Carl work a puppet as well? I don't remember what we were talking about. Dang Wizard, €2 pounds. I don't know that symbol. I will never know it. This is all work. And the ghost, Matt from Rhode Island. Justin is the goat.
This is all work. Like we're finally we're cashing in on the market that wants to hear Justin and Craig go at it.
Dang Lizard, €5 pounds. You broke my heart, Craig. I was waiting all alone, very clearly from Europe.
Hey,
That's a problem.
That's what I think is we're gonna
Craig,
find people are gonna come out of the woodwork.
Very good show, more like very scam show.
Yes.
I've been to podcasts, live podcasts before, where people flying in from across the world, from Australia, from Canada, from California, from
Well, I gotta
Florida.
say, just this week I saw the Legion of Skanks in Hampton Beach. I didn't message them beforehand and say, "Hey, everything's still okay."
Ooh, you were there?
I
And
was.
did you see a certain someone in a leather jacket making out with Lewis on stage?
That was a different show.
Ah,
Yeah.
damn! I needed.
Yeah,
proof.
Chef Lewis was apparently on stage at the Legion of Skanks show, but. But my point is, I go to shows. I don't usually DM the guy beforehand and say, "Just so you know, I'm going to be there."
Neither
in case
do
you're
I.
thinking of canceling.
Neither do I. Craig, when I went to the
Very small scale, very small.
But Craig, stop with that stinking thinking for the 20th time. Stinking thinking, the small scale. When I went to the Iron Gate show, I just showed up. I didn't announce to everyone, "Hey, I'm going to be here." It sounds weird to be like, "Hey, I'm coming to this." If it's an open invite. But
Mr. CK, lest you cancel the show this evening, I'm going to be there.
I'll be there.
breaks my heart.
Yeah, it is troubling.
I agree.
I like the guy saying this is a work. I can't get over that. As if this
I
is like
know.
a real.
This is.
I mean, it is very real, but it's not like we're pretending.
This is the most important thing that ever happened in the history of Earth.
Well, again, you should be a little more broken up about it. I think me and Justin should be able to laugh about it, but.
Oh, I'm laughing that this is a subject.
See, that's
what
what troubles us.
I agree with it.
That's
though.
what troubles
I
all.
get it. I get it.
Do you though?
Yes. I do.
What are the reparations?
Justin's gonna think of it, and I'll
What?
do it.
Oh, so now I got to work for the fucking VGS now.
I mean,
now I got to come
Jesus
up.
Christ,
Now
has
I'm
he
the
not done
now I'm
enough
the
for this
program
show?
director. I just like to be a fan, go to Stapp meetup, and now I'm tasked with, okay, Justin, here's a list of what you need to do.
Yeah. VGS. Justin will think of it.
I'll think of something. I'll check his tour dates. I'll go. Figure it out.
So here's what I think is we're going to start hearing from people coming out of the woodwork saying, "Mike, I didn't realize you were associated with this ne'er-do-well. I was at the Scott Stapp show looking for him. Couldn't find it."
He usually wears shirts that have his show's name in gigantic letters on it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. People were definitely wandering around. Craig?
Is that you?
It was like Craig's children are probably doing right now. Daddy, where are you on a Sunday? That's what these poor people were like.
Sad.
Right, Justin, anything else?
Yeah, I was trying to send a super chat earlier with your Venmo information, but YouTube won't let me send that. So I was going to send, for those listening at home, if they'd like to support the podcast, Venmo at Blind Mike Geary.
Oh, thank you very much.
For some reason,
you don't have to pay this
YouTube
program. We appreciate it, but thank you.
Yeah, that's how every show goes. Mike just goes, "Justin, please stop paying me," and then he just continues to do it.
All right, Justin, you want to hang around, or is that you probably can't stomach this guy any longer?
It's tough to look at him.
This is disgusting. We look related.
Enjoy your Sunday, buddy, and try to recover. Try to find a show that could fill the void for you.
Justin, please try deep in your heart to forgive me.
I don't know.
You haven't done much to warrant forgiveness,
I
really.
don't know.
He's
Laughing at my face.
Pass the buck.
Once you find who's responsible for this.
Yeah, you. Craig's like OJ. He's like, you know what? I'm dedicating my life to finding this son of a bitch.
Very funny.
Thank you, Justin.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Craig.
Bye, Justin. Thank you for
Try my
joining.
best. It's hard to have to do a show with this guy. Finish out the show now with a guy like this.
Untrustworthy.
Jesus. Yeah, no, we're gonna nail down this cocksucker that scammed everyone. Craig
That's
swears.
We'll find him. I blame Matt mostly, but I did fuck up.
Well, speaking of Matt's, Matt Rife is being used.
What?
You know what you should have
What a
done?
fucking segue.
You know what you should have done is just made a post on Instagram and included Matt Rife and said he was going to be at the Scott Stapp show.
I know. I was trying to get tickets, but they were all gone.
All right, so this is from the Regs podcast, a new podcast that's apparently once a month. I guess Luis J. Gomez saw the success of Protect Our Parks that Joe Rogan, Shane Gillis, Ari Shaffir, and Mark Norman do every so often. And Lewis was like, why don't we have, it was very funny because Soder called them, he's like, it's perfect. I'm Diet Shane. Joe List is Mark Norman Delight. I think he called Bob Kelly Splenda Rogan. And the Ari and Lewis comparison was pretty accurate anyway. So I guess they're doing like a monthly show together. And I thought this was interesting. I'm starting to just like Matt Rife because the amount, it's not his fault, the amount he's being shoved down everyone's throat. And the way people are reacting to him almost makes me just respect him. So this was a pretty interesting story that I thought Dan Soder told about one of his gigs that ticket sales were down a little bit for him, I guess.
I know ticket sales are low. Fly to Kansas City, drive down to Springfield. I get to Springfield. I get to my hotel. I go upstairs and there's like 11 texts from random comics. Not like you guys or my, like comics that I'm friends with, but I don't really talk to. And they all screen grabbed the same promo.
Oh no, free tickets.
Dog.
Worse. Dude, I hear you get it on Reddit.
Dog?
Like free tickets for Louis J. Gomez this weekend.
I would.
This is about to ruin every story you've ever told.
Lewis, because Joe knows this.
This
and
is the story.
I sent this to Joe and Joe went, oh God.
Please don't.
All right, so I fucking
Oh, it's so bad.
I love it.
It's worse than you're thinking.
So I'm gonna
It's
show
worse
it.
than
I'm
you're
gonna
thinking.
show it to Lewis.
Can you send it to me so I can put it on the screen?
Hold on. I'm gonna show it to both of you and then explain. Just read it. Don't write. Just read what it is.
No.
So we're about to find out.
Bobby read it, and then I'll explain it. It's worse. It hurts so much. I sent it to Dan St.
It's an all-timer.
I sent it to Dan St. Germain, and Dan St. Germain goes like this. He goes, whoa. He goes, whoa, that hurt my feelings.
Completely off topic. Bobby Kelly looks fucking great.
Well, he got that stomach stapling thing.
Oh,
Yeah. He lost a ton of weight. Yeah.
Cheated.
Not stomach stapling, the I forget what it is, the band or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, lap band surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
So what happened is,
fuck, that sucks.
I'm going to show you guys. It's a promo, and
I have it saved. It's my background.
Oh, fuck it.
So the comedy club put on Instagram. It wrote, Matt Rife fans, get a chance to see Dan Soder
A chance.
and Matt Rife. Anyone who buys a ticket to see Dan Soder this weekend will be issued a raffle ticket for a chance to see Matt Rife in July. Each person in attendance to a show will be entered in a chance to win.
So
It was a raffle ticket. It wasn't even another ticket. It was a raffle ticket. Dude, I saw that
crazy.
and it was such a gut punch that I was like,
That is awful.
That's so crazy that they're using this kid to sell other tickets.
Oh, that hurts my feelings for Dan.
And just the idea that there's someone in that crowd thinking like, all right, I got to sit through this asshole, but maybe, just maybe, I could see Matt Rife.
I mean, you'd be better off just going and getting homeless people and putting them in the rope.
Dude, that was in the soloplex. I was like, I've used that word twice this podcast. Thanks, Bobby.
I mean, the idea of like the crowd being filled with people that are just there hoping
by
to
the way,
ABC Matt Rife.
And every show, I made sure when a joke would hit, I'd go, God, I hope you guys win Matt Rife tickets. And you would hear them laugh, an acknowledgement laugh.
Oh,
of like,
wow.
oh yeah,
Was it packed?
The numbers they went
The
up.
numbers got there.
I mean, I'm
That's
not
a
lying.
great idea.
We
Maybe I'll
should all
fucking
do
start.
I'm not lying.
Maybe I'll start buying Matt Rife tickets and raffling.
It doesn't even have to be.
Louis just buys a theater's worth of Matt Rife tickets.
That would be like night and day difference. Matt Rife like alike, and then you go see Lewis.
This is what you should have done. It's like, hey guys, you want to see Matt Rife and Scott Stapp together?
Exactly.
You would have gotten some people there, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's pretty good. This is where I'm like, I get to the point where enough people like Matt Rife. I never hated him. I think I was pretty open-minded about him.
Mm-hmm.
But my disgust for his material has even gone down because I'm like, none of this is his fault. People are obsessed with him. They're told this is good comedy by TikTok and whatever other formulas and algorithms dictate that.
Oh no, we're losing you, dude.
What I'm saying is it's not Matt Rife's fault. He's not gotten any funnier.
No.
But like, you can't blame him. He has to it's got to be kind of nice for him to be like, hey, Dan Soder, who's been doing it for, 10, 15 years longer than Matt has to use Instagram posts with his picture on it to move merchandise.
Just remember, anytime you're like, man, is he actually funny or not? Just remember, let's see who gets offended.
Well, let's see who gets offended.
Ugh.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. So that's something you could put into your, your tickler file for the next time you need to prevent.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Matt Rife VGS collab show meetup thing.
Oh man, the amount of people you guys would offend. Whoa, you want to talk edgy?
No, he's way more offensive.
Turn the volume up and rip the knob off.
That must have been the worst feeling in the world for Soder to read that.
That's an insane thing for a comedy club to do. Although I'll say this, it is weird where like now, I think it used to be comedy clubs would have to promote their events, and now they're just like, well, I guess you didn't sell any tickets this weekend, huh, asshole? Like they shit on the comics kind of for not moving. So at least this club was trying something, but that's incredibly insulting to be like, I mean, if you don't mind sitting through this asshole, you might be able to see Matt Rife. What would that be like?
Whoa. He's gonna go up and be like, let me guess, gay. Take that.
While we're on the topic of Louis J. Gomez and Skank Fest and things related to that, should we bring up the Brendan Schaub clip real quick, please? Because again, I was right about something. I hope I'm not turning into this guy that brags about his many conquests here, but it kind of feels good for a day at least because I was right again. The fighter in the kid subreddit is falling to shit. They're falling apart. They're eating each other. They're losing what once made them great. PF Chang's is going out of business soon, I think.
That's not good.
So do you know about this?
The fight?
Well, let's watch the promo. So Brendan Schaub is going to be at Skankfest, and this guy who goes by the Homeless Cat posted this on Reddit, I guess.
I'm fighting at Skankfest 2023. On behalf of I am the Homeless Cat, and I am fighting Brendan
The music kind of drowns him out, so if you couldn't hear, he basically says, I'm fighting Brendan Schaub at Skankfest. Now, he makes some shitty promo where he's like, oh, I'm going to take Brendan down. Now, first of all, he would get destroyed if he was fighting Brendan Schaub at Skankfest.
So, because it's MMA rules, this guy's just boxing. And if Schaub has remotely any professional boxing experience, he'd light this dude up. He left his face wide open.
I don't think the Las Vegas Fight Commission or whatever they have to go through would allow it.
Yeah, I go by the Homeless Cat online. Can I fight a former top 10 heavyweight UFC fighter, please?
So that in itself is embarrassing. But a great journalist out in the field by the name of Unique, you may remember him as Scion Z, reached out to Louis J. Gomez and said, any comment on the rumors that the homeless cat will be fighting Brendan Schaub at Skankfest? And Louis replied, absolutely not. It's not happening. He's lying. So this is now where the homeless cats, the fighter and the kid subreddit, have become the cringe that they hate so much. This makes them look really bad. Like, I think the tide is starting to turn on Brendan Schaub. I was right. Brendan Schaub is coming around. He's not the master of cringe anymore. The people who made fun of him are. They're becoming what they hated.
Have they always just been like that, and it's finally just being seen?
I don't know. It's tough because they've had a few incidents like this where they've lit up accounts that they claim are Brendan Schaub, and that wasn't true. The Emperor's clothes are disappearing. They're starting to lose, and like they're bragging about Brendan being less popular. I see a lot of those posts, like Brendan Schaub's view counts are all only like $30,000 a podcast, 30,000 views per podcast now. It's like, well, your popularity is also dying. Don't you see? It's a symbiotic relationship.
My God.
I know. So that's the shame of it all. But I think it's happening. If Brendan plays this correctly, he will walk out of Skankfest a new man, I believe. Thick boy, baby.
So I think he's gonna be nervous as hell, I assume, going on stage that night.
The way Skankfest works, he's gonna be up there a lot, I would think.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, the first time he goes up, he's probably gonna be nervous because people talk shit about him. He says he doesn't pay attention to it, but we know that's a lie.
Right.
But he's gonna get a very warm welcome, and everyone's gonna appreciate him being there.
Yeah.
And that might actually just change his overall attitude.
I wonder. The tough thing is he's gonna actually have to do stand-up at some point.
If it's remotely okay,
that's a hurdle to overcome.
If it's remotely okay, he'll be fine.
Well, we'll see.
It's going to be a very low bar for him to have to get over. Maybe the next time it won't be as easy.
Yeah.
But him just showing up, because remember, didn't they fake everyone out saying Schumer was there?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was Tim Dillon.
Yeah, and everyone went nuts.
Yes.
So
yeah, I think Brendan Schaub's going to get a big pop, and this is where it's like, and they'll hide behind the fact it's like, oh, this is what we always do, where this is one guy, he doesn't speak for all of us. But I think they're starting to become the cringe and kind of becoming what they hated. They hate Brendan Schaub so much that their thirst for Brendan Schaub hate needs to be quenched at all times, and sometimes there's not enough juice out there.
Not enough steroid riddled juice for everyone.
Yes.
But,
all right. Where should we go now, do you think?
Well, we'll save the Hackride and Hackride adjacent stuff for the end, I assume.
Yeah. We'll do Hackride in one foul swoop.
So we got Dat Phan, Fuentes, and Alex Bennett.
Well, let's start. The Fuentes thing is the quickest one, probably. Because I guess he was a guest on Very Good Show, it sounds like. So that's kind of
that's not right.
No, he goes actually, I'm sure on Very Good Show, Nick Fuentes will be called a pussy for this answer.
That's not right either.
So he was on, this is like associated with Patrick Bet David. It's like the Value Attainment Money Channel or something. And this guy seems like a real douchebag. Like, I listened to a minute of his podcast, and it's like, welcome to Value Attainment Money, where we focus on getting paid and getting laid.
Oh.
And they're serious. It's not like a joke, I don't think. And so these guys had Fuentes on, and this is an example of what they asked him. Now, I would say if you're Fuentes, you're kind of being a pussy here. No? Am I missing something?
No, I can't pinpoint what this dude's deal is.
I mean, he's just like a troll. But again, this is not dissimilar from what we're just talking about with the fighter and the kid subreddit.
Is he a troll, though, or does he fucking actually mean it?
Who knows? What is anything? Why is the grass green? What? Who knows? So let's see what Nick Fuentes had to say about his old buddy Adolf.
Simple yes or no answer. Hitler, good guy, bad guy?
That's a top. Well, there are no good and bad guys. They're just people.
That's not true, dude.
It is true.
I mean, So if you had to check one box,
I'm gonna say I'm neutral on that. I'm abstaining from
There's
that
no
one.
neutral.
you're saying that Hitler was not a bad guy?
I think that it's.
But then
World
you're
War.
questioning why people.
It's funny. They're focusing on the wrong thing, in my opinion. I'm like, just say he's a good guy, you fucking phony. What are you doing?
Commit to it.
You're this bad boy edgelord. Here's what's happening with Fuentes. I was right again. Holy shit. Blind squirrel, I guess they say. Finally, after how many days is almost 32 years? And I finally had one where I was right more than once.
I was trying to think of a good title for this week's episode. Blind Squirrel seems pretty good.
Not so bad. So, Nick Fuentes is now getting a little older, and I think he's afraid of the extreme stances he would take. And so now he knows he would piss off his base if he says Hitler was a bad guy, which is a bizarre. I had to wrap my mind around which way that one went. But he knows he's going to infuriate, I guess, guys like Cumia that want him to say outrageous things.
I think Cumia is even like, dude, pump those brakes just a little bit.
I've never seen them interact. I have no idea what his relationship is like with him.
Just Anthony calling him the N-word.
Yeah. So Fuentes is now getting a little older, and I think he's trying to become more of a human being. And it's like, dude, this is what I said. You dug your own grave. No one's going to forget the shit you've said. No one's going to forget that you convinced Kanye that Hitler's a good guy.
Some people in the chat seem to like Nick. That's something.
They were angry at Justin a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Want you talking?
There's
I'm giving you a platform.
Look, if we're going to say Hitler bad, then I'm going to say Churchill bad, and I'm going to say Roosevelt bad, and I'm going to say they're all bad. But if we look at him as a product of his time in that moment, we have to judge him with those things in mind. That's all.
Genocide, always bad.
But doesn't that seem like such a weak answer? Like, if you're going to go for it, Nick, go for it. Don't dip your toe into the Hitler waters. What the fuck are you doing?
Hitler waters.
I understand it's a weird stance I'm taking. I don't agree with him. My point is he's branded himself like this bad boy.
You sure you want to go on record? You want to go on record saying you disagree with him, Mike?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there were some pros and cons with old Adolf. It's really hard to nail him down. He was a complex fellow of sorts. I'm not ready to say. It's like, just fucking say it, Nick, if that's what you think, you pussy.
You fucking loser.
Yeah, so I don't get what he's doing. It seems like he's trying to transition into the mainstream.
Yeah, he's not going to get there.
No way. No, it'll never be allowed. But I do think crazier rebrandings have been done. As I'm saying it, I can't think of a single one. But you know what I mean? Like, he's young enough where he could pull it off. And I'm here to say, I won't forget.
Super chat from Dominic. You should do Hackride at the beginning and the end. Start good and end good,
All right, Dominic. I like to think we do start good, but I understand. It's funny that the Hackride comments are always very split because it's either like, we need more. I'm just here for Hackride. Or like, why are you playing this? What is it?
Please throw him into the sun immediately.
Stop it. It's completely split, which I think is a good thing ultimately.
Oh, absolutely. Gets people going.
I
think everyone's going to be a fan of Hackride by the end of this program.
Oh, well, you know what? Speaking of Hackride, we can do a little Hackride early before we get to the main course of Hackride, because I think it transitions nicely into Dat Phan. But first, we'll give you a Tom Myers update real quick, because there have been some things at play here, I guess.
Do I have? I don't have that video ready. I forgot.
Oh boy.
Well, I got the video. I don't have his segue music bumper thing.
Oh, well, that's fine, I guess.
But, from the desk of Hackride.
Oh, well, let me set it up first here, for Christ's sake. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I gotta be careful. He's part of the team now, I guess. Joey C is a guy that I don't know. He's negotiated his way into the Dabbleverse, I suppose. He has made his presence known enough that now like Carl is interviewing him and Stuttering John has him on, and he's on with Kevin Brennan, I think. He does all these shows now. And so I had said to Hackride, like, you know, I don't know quite what the deal is with this Joey C. Hackride has an ability to communicate with these people, and he sees the good in Joey C. And I didn't realize Joey C is a good guy to have on your side, because apparently, I guess he could twist some arms in terms of getting guests on this program.
I like the music.
A lot of build up for Joey C.
I am here with Joey C as we.
Oh, this is the debut of slight debut of actual Hackride, I believe, as well.
Yeah, so this is the real for the audio listeners. What does he look like?
It's just a picture of him.
Oh, it's not him. It's not on screen.
No, that is coming at the end of the month, though. He got a devil get up that he's going to be debuting.
Okay, interesting. So what seems to me, and this is why I fear Hackride seems less into the show the last couple weeks.
See, I'll disagree with that completely.
Okay, because he's not communicating with me. That's why I worry.
Oh no, we've gone. Let's not worry the boss. Let's just get it done.
Okay, I like that. All right, keep it off my desk.
Exactly.
Here's what made me worry.
Yeah.
Here's what made me worry. Is we didn't do any clips for last week's episode. Heil, honey, I'm home. Because I figured it was an old Patreon, so we didn't need to put like clips out or anything. Even though I thought maybe it would be a good idea, but it doesn't matter. I said, hey, since it's kind of a slow week with clips, any chance you could get me 3 Pee Wee Herman clips instead of the usual 2? He always cuts 2 clips for Why You Laughing, pretty traditionally. I said, any chance you could get 3 this week? He goes, geez, I guess maybe I could do 2. And I was like, oh, were you not going to do any? And that was like, I hadn't heard from him all week. So I was like, has he quit? So I jokingly said, are you on strike? And he's like, things to take care of. And
He'll take a nap.
He's leaving us.
He'll take a nap and he'll feel better.
Okay. I hope then good. That's good. I hope he's all right.
He might be branching out, but he ain't leaving this. I can promise that.
Well, I said I like the idea of him doing like an after show to this program. Is that?
I love that, and just make fun of us, basically.
Is that what's happening?
That was one of the things he pitched me, and I said I liked it. So
I like that as well. It's not a bad idea, and he can do it on his channel. It doesn't have to be here.
Yeah, he said something about putting it on the Patreon. Even I don't know.
I think he should do it on his channel for free.
Then that grows his channel.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Sorry. Yeah. So he's starting this new interview series of sorts,
which I love it.
And so he's talking to Joey C, and this is condensed down, I think, to the part that would interest us.
Today, I am here with Joey C as we check in on an update with the comedian Tom Myers and his ability to hide from any responsibility. Joey, how are you? It is good to see you.
How you doing, Hackride? Nice to see you again, too, sir. How are you?
I am always well when I see Joey C. The man is rising to the top like a rocket.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So, Joey, I gave you a little mission, if you wanted to, if you chose to accept it. You chose to accept it. How is it going? Give us an update.
This Tom Myers is a character. First time he said...
Whoa. I didn't know we'd be getting that kind of mafia talk.
Oh, no.
He's a real character.
He's a real character,
This guy's tough. I didn't realize.
First time he sends me back contact my agent, which is supposed to be some female. And then I sent him a second message, and he said, I'm so sorry it took me so long to get back to you. I must have a delay on my end. I didn't see your message. But please, let's contact my agent. And I wrote back, listen, man, let's talk frank here, buddy. I said, let's put the agents aside and park this. And I'm a man.
Like this.
When a favor is done for me, I never forget. So you want to have a guy like me in your pocket, Mr. Myers?
In the pocket.
So I suggest you contact me immediately.
This is excellent, Joey. I like the angle you are.
Tom Myers, either his brains or his signature would be on that contract. True story.
business partnership that he would be a fool to miss out on. This is excellent. And so you haven't heard from him since...
So that was the third message went out today, this afternoon.
Oh, excellent. So Joey, what is the plan for the next step in the Joey C to get Tom Myers on the Blind Mike project?
Well, I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Oh, I like to hear that, Joey. We like to hear that at the Blind Mike project. Yes. Anything else you would like to say to Blind Mike?
That was on the nose.
I let you go today, Joey.
I didn't love it.
Blind Mike, trust me, I'm working on it, and we're going to get Tom Myers for you, buddy. Just let me work on him, and you will have him, and he will tell you he's sorry for everything he did. I promise you.
Okay.
Beautiful words, Joey C, and words that I truly, in the deepest part of my demon heart, believe you will make happen. Thank you Thank you so much for joining us, Joey C.
Well, Tom, my Kraut Mick friend. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell because so here's the thing: is some of that might seem a little douchey, but Joey C genuinely has mafia ties.
Right. That's
Like,
the offer you can't refuse. I was laughing, but I couldn't believe he actually said it.
It's a little douchey, but he does have. It's at least coming from the source,
Right.
you know. God damn it, I can't remember who the mobster. You would know the name, but like a direct. I think he's like directly this guy's nephew or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. He's gonna.
Yeah, I wonder if Tom Myers has responded with, "Tell your Dago Guinea Goomba Wah boss I'm not doing it."
Michelle Wojciechowski was the best piece of ass I've ever had, and I've had ass all over the world.
He's gonna wake up with Dat Phan's head in his bed.
Well, Mr. Pantangeli, Tom Myers said this. Tom Myers said that. It was all lies. So I it's going to be more difficult to have Tom on after this week when Why You Laughing comes out, I would think. Tom will see that episode.
He is waiting for it. He's refreshing right now. He heard the rumors.
But yeah, that will be that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But there was something else that I meant to mention in there as far as Tom Myers goes. Oh, so as Craig mentioned, he will be away next week. So we have to record a Blind Mike project. This might be the only live stream we do in August, for Christ's sake. So we have to record a Blind Mike project. See if Justin wants to join us. You might. Well, you know what? I'll do it. If he can stomach looking at you. Because we're going to break down the full Havre de Grace show. Tom was mad that we only played a small portion of his set. So I feel like we got to revisit and play the whole thing, as well as some of the other characters, such as Michelle Wojciechowski and Fez Grimes.
Yeah, it was a you guys were selectively cutting to make him look bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we'll play the whole thing in its entirety to make sure that Tom's greatest hits are all out there. Yeah, I don't know how we got that tape, but someone sent it to us. But speaking of that show, Dat Phan, you know, we joke the war rages on with Tom Myers. I hope Dat Phan is going to be all right. You know, all's fair in love and war, as they say. And this is a rivalry, but, you know, I don't want Dat to die, which it seems like he's on death's door, for God's sake, as he has reported on social media. He's made sure the world knows about this illness that he's facing.
Hey, I just wanted to update everyone. Apparently, I think there's a 24-hour flu bug going on. It's going around. I started feeling it yesterday.
Can I say a note, by the way? This is to Craig. Now, Dat is talking to ultimately 3 people here. Nobody fucking cares. But he, in his delusional mind, he says, I wanted to update everyone. In Dat's mind, the world cares. What's going to happen with Dat? That's how you have to approach a very good show. You can learn something from this guy.
I did do the same thing.
Well,
I was getting crucified for it.
That's not what I heard.
First, and luckily I only had a meeting with Chelsea online.
Thank God.
And then today, instead of just a couple of coughs, I ended up throwing up twice.
No, Dad, no!
Oh God.
The good news is, after I threw up, I feel better. I can't believe I'm telling everybody this, but I feel much better now.
That's usually how it works.
I can't. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I can't believe I'm telling everybody this. You have nothing to say, so you're going on and just recapping your day, Dad. What the fuck is this?
I'm a 40-something-year-old man. I've been sick. I can't believe I'm telling you.
Oh my God, I just can't. It's so embarrassing. I just can't believe. I went number 3 in the toilet today.
I had to cancel a Wednesday show, and now my wife and I are trying to figure out TV time where she's out in the living room, and then we're gonna Zoom watching a movie together.
What a miserable life. Why are you telling us about this?
Buddy Jasper,
your wife can't just get sick.
Gonna be joining me on the iPad.
Hold on, pause. Because I want to hear all about his buddy Jasper. But if you're in the same house, you're getting sick, right? You either are or you aren't. You're in close enough proximity that you're probably gonna get sick with each other. Just fucking watch TV together, or don't, or isolate yourselves. I'm gonna Zoom with her, and so we're gonna start a Zoom meeting, and she's gonna hold her phone up to the TV so we can watch a movie together. That's psychotic behavior. Well, it sounds like he's got like food poisoning or something. It doesn't sound like he's coming down with anything severe.
There's a famous saying, if the shoe fits. That's psychotic behavior. Well, you know.
he's a psychotic man. And there's something else going on with his relationship with the wife. He's one of those guys that always has to mention the wife, and she's on tour with him, and she's mentioned in every video. There's a little something there. I think the wife is pulling the strings here on this dazzling career of dads.
My buddy Jasper.
Hello, Jasper.
Who's gonna be joining me on the iPad.
Oh, you have iPad?
So
oh no, the crossover.
Oh, I also have it. Do you enjoy iPad?
Does your family enjoy being on iPad?
It's great for sick time. So you're going to see your wife on iPad. That's very good.
Thanks, Dad. What an update.
Yeah, so Dad announced to the world that he was sick, but guys, we soldier on. There were people, much like the Scott Stapp show, where there were people wandering around. Craig?
Yep.
Are you here, Craig? There were people muttering in the streets all around this great nation, all in the 8 cities that he made it to in 60 days. There were people like, I just wonder if Dad's okay. And thank God he took to TikTok for an update.
Yeah, you know that 24-hour bug he said? Turns out he was correct.
This is Dad Van. I just want to give you guys an update. I am feeling much better today. So I wanted to update you guys.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Thank God, guys. That's all right.
I thought we were gonna lose him.
Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So things are back on track, and I look forward to seeing everybody. And that 24-hour thing was not fun, but it's over with. And I'm here with my family, grabbing a bite to eat. Right, Jasper?
Oh, we get to see Jasper again. That's fun. Okay. But here's where the conspiracy really kicks in. I think what happened is, because it all lines up, I've checked the figures here. I think Dad bought a ticket to see Scott Stapp. Lied to his fans. Oh, guys, I'm not going to be able to make it tonight. I'm a little sick. And then when the show is canceled, he's like, I guess I can cancel my flight and stay home and do these fucking Zoom shows that I do.
I come buckets for the super chat. McFuss Daddy is a bottom. He blows dudes.
Whoa, I don't know anything about that. I don't go for that kind of talk.
Dominic, $2.
Wait, a bottom would receive anally, no? Is that the same thing? If you're blowing guys, is that also considered a bottom?
Well, I think bottom is when you're receiving, but a power bottom is when you're on the bottom giving.
Right, but what I'm saying is oral is that's not considered bottom, is it?
No.
Maybe it is.
I think it can go both ways.
I come buckets report back.
Yeah, let us know with a super chat. Dominic, $2 super chat. McFussy is crying right now.
What the hell's happening? Oh, this is all the very good show stuff?
I don't know.
It's got to be. Yeah.
No, I think they were fighting in the chat earlier.
Oh, Oh, well, dry your tears, McFuss Daddy.
Justin, super chat. McFuss Daddy is a goat.
What the hell's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, I remember.
What happened?
In one of the clips, I think you said McFuss Daddy's the goat.
Did I?
Or Matt did, or someone did. I think that's what's happening here.
Let us know in the chat. Turbo, super chat. Let Mike know someone stole his Quincy poster.
What?
Oh, no, it's behind his head. He turned and
back
now.
there.
Yeah, you turned and now I can see it.
I moved it because people were bitching about the. I think it was reflecting light or something like that. So I tried to move things around in here a little bit.
Mike from Providence, $5 super chat. Sorry, guys, missed the first hour of the show. Craig, where were you yesterday? I drove 3 effing hours to Falmouth for the meeting.
See? Yeah, I think people are going to start coming out of I think this was massively attended by very good show fans. Hopefully they found each other.
Yep.
Because they didn't find the boss, that's for sure.
Dang Lizard. I Come Bucket's mom pays people to talk to him in the chat.
Well, hey, we appreciate it. I believe I Come Buckets runs our Discord.
He does. It's a fun place. Fun time.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Good.
But that is, we are caught up on super chats.
Well, I hope they have all the proper news on Discord. Like I hope they're gonna have all the red string out and the photographs and everything to try and find this son of a bitch that canceled the Scott Stapp meetup.
Matt, it's a big chalk outline.
Well, he's the big photo in the middle, but there's all kinds of this could.
Oh, I would have.
God
red
knows
string.
where this goes.
There's definitely red string around my neck for sure.
Oh, that's so humble of Craig to admit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I admitted that from the jump, that whole thing would have.
You know what this is? You know what Craig is doing with this whole Scott Stapp thing? Is like he's he's like the head of AIG or one of these big banks.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to, lay all kinds of people off, and they've ripped people off of money. Yet they receive a bailout, and they're like, the responsibility is on me. And it's like, yes, I guess the word responsibility you've taken, but you're reaping all the benefits.
Yeah, that was so funny. Justin's like, dude, what the fuck? I was ready to go, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah, but
I get
ruins it.
I get it.
He doesn't want to go with you. You're not his friend. He wants to go with Craig Ironhead Oconee, host of Very Good Show.
Justin and I are
see?
Well, he was gonna be on VGS soon, and I don't know about now. he might.
I hope he's not. I hope he stays by his word.
No, he's gotta come give us shit. At least Matt.
Yeah. Anything else before we get into some Hackride business?
Is Alex Bennett worth it?
No, maybe I'll send that to Carl for WATS.
All right.
Because she's having a break. Shame on me. I should have talked about that during the Barstool stuff, and now I've lost interest.
Now we're beyond it.
Yeah. Let's go to Hackride because he not only spoke to Joey C, he spoke to Richard Ojeda, and I gotta say, there's a bottomless well of Richard childhood stories.
Lots of medication and a hammer-made scar. Coal mining vet, the left biggest star. He's just a shit-talking, curb-stomping, Trump-hating, redneck name dick.
We gotta get a new one of those, I think.
Why is that?
You there?
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
What's going on?
Did you not hear that?
I said, why do you need a new one?
Oh, because it's not as endearing, I don't think.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The lyrics might not fit our attitude about Richard.
Yeah, I don't think they fit any part of how we're feeling anymore.
Well, whatever. It all works. Yeah. So Richard told us a little bit about his childhood when a kid was bullying him and threw a rock at his skull and drowned the son of a bitch. Do I have that about right?
Yeah, in shit water.
Yeah. So there's another peek into this inside the mind and the youth of Richard Ojeda.
I did something one time, and I was a bad kid, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was tiny, so I was always fighting because I wasn't gonna put up with bullies. But I was also I was very, very, I had a lot of energy to Today they would say I was ADHD. So I did stupid shit, man. You know, like I would climb on to. We had this place.
Hey, man, today they would say I was ADHD. You know what they knew it as back then? Just a badass. I was around curb stomping motherfuckers.
I gotta be honest. I have ADHD. I never did any of this.
I like this relaxed Richard Ojeda. He likes us. He's part of the family now. And I was worried, like, maybe the fun would stop with Richard Ojeda. I think it's enhanced because he's admitting to things that I'm flummoxed by.
And the statute of limitations are way beyond. So it's
Yeah. Don't try any funny business here, folks.
Like, I think there's a story. This actually might, never mind. This might be the one.
Okay.
There was like an overhang over the road, and I would always go up there and take eggs, and I'd egg cars. And I'll never forget one time, I for some odd reason in my mind, I don't know why I did it, but I thought, I'm going to take this basketball, and I'm going to hit a car with it. So I hit between these two cars, and a car would come by, and I'd throw the basketball, and it'd hit the driver's side, it'd bounce off, and they'd hit their brakes, and I'd grab the ball, and I'd go running, I'd hide, and I'd be hidden for about 20 minutes, and then they'd be gone, no biggie.
Hold on one second. Hold on. Even Hackride's laugh is kind of one of like, okay, well, that seems pretty dangerous.
I know I'm a demon, but Jesus.
Even by my standards.
That's a little much, don't you think?
All right. So this is, I mean, I remember once I threw like an empty Coke bottle in the I wanted to like hit a passing by car. This is on a street where the cars are going like 35 miles an hour. I remember like me and my friends thought that would be funny, just throw something at a car. The guy stopped and berated us and wanted to speak to our parents. We had to lie about where we lived and all this shit. That's a empty plastic Coke bottle. A basketball, I would think, could do some serious damage to a vehicle.
Yes. Yes. This does, I believe, lead up to one of the stories. If not,
Richard looked at me and my friends as pussies.
That's right.
Because I was a little knucklehead, I kept doing it. And here come this car, and it was of a person that I knew, and I didn't really care for him too much, but I was like, I'm going to get him. So I threw the basketball. It went under his car. The basketball exploded, and his car went up on its side.
Okay.
And I was a kid.
And he died. He ain't no longer with us, and that took care of that son of a bitch.
He is the gift that keeps on giving.
I love this freewheeling Richard where he's like, listen, I didn't care for this guy. I took care of him. Bingo bango. Problem solved.
Won't see him no more.
Yeah, he's the real Joey C. This is who we should be sending after Tom Myers.
Is I jump in the creek. I jump in the creek, and I'm going to run the creek all the way up to my house. Let me tell you something about a holler. Most houses in the holler do not have septic tanks. They do not have sewage systems. They have a pipe.
It's shit creek.
It's shit creek. So I get out there, and that's exactly what the creek was. But I'm going to run that creek all the way up, and I fall, and I'm covered head to toe in damn creek shit. It's nasty as can be. But understand that I got up, and I tried to go out to the road and kind of get a little glimpse about what's going on because the car was wrecked.
More cars are just pulling into telephone poles because they see the shit monster appearing from the creek.
Oh, shit. And Chuck's just falling at them.
Ah! These West Virginia rubes are fucking terrified.
I get out there and I'm just listening, and I hear somebody say, Richie Ojeda did it. And I was like, no. So I took off running, and by the time I run through the front door of my house, my father was on the phone with the driver of that car. And I'm telling you what, man.
And so I took off up into the woods of New Hampshire, and Robert Forrester was bringing me some of the goods that I needed until I came up with a plan to take down those Nazi bastards with a device in the trunk of my car.
He's 7 years old. Do you want to continue with this one or go to the other one?
No, I think there's a little more. I think he tells a second story also here.
Does that have to do with a church?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I've been dying to. Okay.
Again, ass whooping like I ain't never forgot. But like I said, I did stupid. I'll tell you another story. We had these. I love telling stories. We had these two twins.
I just love telling stories.
I love telling stories that you guys will definitely not take out of context and will certainly treat with respect. That's what I like doing.
We love hearing them.
This is going to tell you how bad I was as a kid. I've had a few BB guns.
This is
growing
the
up,
one.
and all of them got taken away from me for being wrong, for being bad. Well, one day I was walking up past the 20 Whitman Church. That's how hollers where I come from. You know, it's like 4, 5, and 6 Holden, 20 Whitman. 14 Whitman. There's like numbers. It's like where the coal communities were stuff. So I'm walking past this church, the 20 Whitman Church, and there's these two girls, and they were twins, and we always were like this at each other. And one of them was standing at the front door of the church, and I'm walking past the church with my BB gun, and she says, "You can't shoot me." And I just looked around and said, "I bet you I can't."
I think you know what happened to this bitch.
The excruciating detail he goes into here.
Spoiler alert. Someone's about to get their comeuppance.
You can't shoot me.
That will be a drop by the next show, I promise.
I said, "Well, I bet you I can." She said, "You can't shoot me." I said, "I bet you I can." "You can't shoot me." "I bet you I can." I pump that sumbitch up. I aim it and I shoot her. She runs inside the church, and she's in the front pew crying, and everybody's around her going, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I walked into the church because I'm going to tell
Guns blazing.
So I have a question. Was Richard the first church shooter?
Wait, can you go back a little bit? I want to hear the "you can't shoot me" thing again real quick because it reminded me of something.
me. I said, "I bet you I can." "You can't shoot me." "I bet you I can." I pump that sumbitch.
Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you ever leave me?
Will you love me forever?
I aim it and I shoot her. She runs
Hackride
inside.
loves
Hackride.
Oh, that bitch really got it.
He's telling the story and he's got a demon uncomfortable. Like, oh.
Church. And she's in the front pew crying, and everybody's around her going, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I walked into the church because I'm going to tell her, "I told you."
And then I started mowing down witnesses. I said, "Now you didn't see nothing here, right, Father?"
I shot that priest right in his damn collar.
Richard was the kids in Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
And I smacked him in his face.
A preacher come at me and said, "Come here." So I took off running. Well, I get out the church. He comes out the church. He's chasing me, but I started realizing that I'm gaining on him. He can't catch me. So I turn around. I'm running backwards, and I said, "You ain't gonna get my damn gun." And I took off running, went up in the mountains, and I hid.
And I met a fellow named Johnny Cakes. He was pretty nice. He was swell to me, treated me like family.
That's why he did so good in Afghanistan. He lived just like them for a while.
And this is also this is the Kyle Rittenhouse story, Richard. Don't you understand?
Did you cross state lines with that BB gun?
Kid, stupid. Next thing you know, I come down. My dad's sitting at the house on a porch swing. So I got my BB gun with me, and I go sit down next to him. He says, "What you been doing today, son?" I said, You
want to find out, you old sack of shit?
You sure you want to find out, sir?
Wiping my
I think you asked too many questions, Pop.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
And then he looks at me and says, "Preacher man was just here." And all I could do was go, "He's a liar." Man, that was a rough time,
And
man.
And that preacher was never seen or heard from again. Isn't that something? I don't know what happened to him, but
I think that's probably a good spot to stop that one.
yeah. So Richard is admitted to a litany of crimes. But I like that he's found a safe haven to do this. He's found a foxhole, as it were, to take cover in.
Yeah. Now, the second video from that, do you want to play that last and go to the game, or do you want to do that one now?
What's your reasoning for asking me that?
Because that's a big closer. It's big news.
No, we'll play it now. We'll play it now. I
All
think.
right.
Because who knows? It may never happen, but it's incentive. It is a good time to say I think this full interview will be up on Hackride's YouTube as well.
Yes.
Right?
Someone's. I don't know where it's going.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. It'll either be on this one or Hackride's. We'll figure all that out. But either way, go follow Hackride on YouTube for God's sake. Support the man because he could be the Larry King of our time.
I think he could.
And by the way, well. I should mention, I worry it's going to come out too early. Well, I'll post it and everything, and then we can talk about it whenever. But I've been featured in an article, and I'll just say people will finally know the true origin of Why You Laughing, and my relationships with some of the people that are involved. So I think that's pretty exciting.
Interesting.
So stay tuned for that. But yeah, go subscribe to Hackride. Oh, we never said, by the way, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching live, blindmike.net. That's where you find all our stuff. You can subscribe to the Patreon if you like, or become a YouTube member, however you want to support the show. Or if you want to support the show for free, then you can also do that at blindmike.net by subscribing and leaving a 5-star review to all our free links, Apple, Spotify, what have you. Blind Mike Project, Why You Laughing? Who Are These Socials? Every Thursday at 6, me and Carl. And what was the other thing? I don't know. Who cares? Go to verygoodshow.org if you want to be fleeced. If you think, boy, I have too much money in my wallet,
no,
I'd like someone to steal it from me, to dupe me, then go to verygoodshow.org.
Come listen to for free first, and if you like what you hear, maybe check out the Patreon.
That's how he suckers you in.
It's $2.
That's how he gets you. That's how these timeshare people do it. Hey, you want a free weekend?
You want to listen for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
But
so this is Hackride and Richard. Now, I never committed to this, but I guess Hackride has thrown my name in the hat for something.
Oh, you
this could be. I'll gladly do it.
I'll host.
This would be a very interesting live show idea if we could pull this off.
Oh,
1,000 subscribers, folks.
Spoiler alert! I'll be able to pull this off, no problem.
Oh, could we could play the Richard Ojeda drinking game live?
Yes.
This is interesting. All right, Hackride, take it away.
Yep. One last thing I want to ask you, Richard. Okay. Give me the
hold on. I don't like serious Hackride. What the hell was that?
He's a demon. He's only
in character.
He is only serious.
Yep. One last thing I want to ask you, Richard. Okay. Give me the amount of money it would take for you to put together a 10-minute stand-up comedy routine.
I don't know. I don't know if I have the ability to be a comedian. I know I say
absolutely
a lot of stuff.
This is the start of the movie, by the way, the biopic.
Yeah, I like Hack. No, you absolutely can.
This makes the trailer for sure. In the Richard Ojeda, the world's greatest comedian.
I mean, look. If I had the talent, I would probably do it.
I think you do have the talent, Richard, and Blind Mike thinks you have the talent as well. And he judges comedians. That is his job.
Well, I mean, I really appreciate that. I really do. I just, but to me, I don't know if I would want to. I mean, if I was that good to do it for money, then that's different. But I wouldn't want anybody. I mean, if I wouldn't want anybody to pay me to put together a 10-minute thing. If I could do it, I would do it and just do it myself. Just let people. I enjoy making people smile and laugh.
How about this, Richard? How about, would you be willing to put together 5 minutes of original comedy if Blind Mike puts together 5 minutes of original comedy and then Blind Mike and Richard Ojeda go head to head in stand-up comedy battle, since neither of you are stand-ups, but both of you are funny?
I don't know if I don't think of myself as funny. I mean, I really don't.
Army Mage.
He doesn't understand that he would just have to tell everything he's told us.
Yeah, tell any of those childhood stories.
Just
childhood stories. He's crushing me. He's blowing me out of the water.
He would have 40 minutes in a split second.
Yeah.
To head in stand-up comedy battle, since neither of you are stand-ups, but both of you are funny.
I don't know if I don't think of myself as funny. I mean, I really don't.
Army Major, are you Are you standing down from a challenge?
I'm not saying I'm standing down. I just don't know what's funny.
I have never seen this side of you, Richard. A non-confident side of Richard. You are very funny, sir.
I've never really, I mean, I say things sometimes.
Does your
Oh, here's where he's turning. He's like, I mean, I do have some observations. Like, what's the deal with Maryland drivers? You ever thought of that?
Yeah, Ojeda's just brushing his hair over his ear.
I mean, I guess now that you mention it, you're gonna put me on the spot here. I was standing in line at 7-Eleven, and I see this fellow with a cheapo brand generic fruit punch, a dirty old rotten banana, and he says, my girlfriend's got a condition; she can only eat certain things. And I says to him, I haven't gotten the punchline yet, but I'm gonna get there. I swear to you.
Talk to her sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now write that stuff down, and then 5 minutes of it, and you've got yourself a set, Richard.
Let me start seeing what I can do. Let me see if I can start working on that.
I will write this in, and when I have confirmation from you both, we will do a comedy special with the Army Major and Blind Mike, and it will blow up the internet.
I know you can't see this. The smile on Richard's face is gigantic.
Richard with a leather jacket and a brick wall behind him, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. He just comes out, he's dice.
Hickory dickory dock. So that's exciting. So here's what I'm thinking. My wheels are turning now. Finally, this is what I've been talking about. People like Craig who are just into scamming you guys, you listeners. Craig's been pushing for a live show since day one. He's like, we just get them to fucking pay for it. It doesn't matter if we have anything to give the people. We'll just pretend. He said to me once, we'll just pretend we're going to see Scott Stapp and we'll get him to pay a bunch of money. And I said, no. I said, nay, my friend. I said, we need to give the people something. If we could get Richard Ojeda up here, now we've got ourselves a party.
Oh, we can even go to him. Anything to make this happen.
Could we get Richard Ojeda? That's also interesting, and to do it in North Carolina. But I'm almost tempted to do that, an Outer Banks weekend or something. but could we get Richard up here? All right, Hackride, you're on the case because you're Ojeda's guy. You're the liaison between me and Ojeda here.
Yes.
Would Ojeda come up here for a live show?
We can do. You want to do a live podcast or just stand up?
It would have to be a podcast. If me and Richard are only each doing 5 minutes, I can't
Well,
imagine.
here's the thing. I can put together an actual comedy show with you guys on it.
Yeah, but I don't want a bunch of people we don't know.
That's true.
We could invite, characters from the show, but I don't want a bunch of just random Boston comics.
Yeah.
So if we had, I think that's something we could get Carl to come do or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can host. I'll go up and do my shit stand up to bring you guys up, make you look like gold. And then has Carl tried stand up?
He does it at their events.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll do it. Maybe.
This is something. This could be something here.
This could be.
I'm
something.
trying to think.
I had another idea for a thing similar. But
how so?
So remember we were talking about going to a campsite to do 24 hours of Quincy?
Yes.
I was thinking, what if we went to something a similar situation and had a 2-night thing? Because I have a projector and all this crap. So if we were doing shows that involved clips or whatever, you could do a Friday night and a Saturday night of podcasts and stand-up on each one.
Possible. Well, I'm into this idea. Now, here's the thing. If we can get Ojeda, I'm into doing the live show. I feel like we need to hit a milestone first, though.
Ooh, what do you have in mind?
I think 1,000 subscribers. Because then I think we also play the Richard Ojeda drinking game with Richard Ojeda.
And he'd probably be into it. Dude, oh my God. Imagine if he gets so hammered he hits one of us with a rock.
That'd be great. He kills us.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to hit me. I'm going to actually get one of those motorcycle helmets that looks like a flat brim hat.
Yeah.
Just for my own safety.
We're wearing bulletproof vests.
Yeah.
This is something. Okay, now see a live show's in the work. You people that wanted to force it, this is what we were waiting for. Something to just kind of happen on its own. There's something here.
Yes.
We could pull this off.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, the first order of business is see if Richard would be into something like that coming up to Boston for that sort of event.
Blinky Jedi, $2 super chat. Army Major steals valor like Afghan boys.
Listen, Blinky Jedi, you're a great supporter of the show, but I can't have what you stand for. As Stuttering John likes to say when he super chats, I think that guy might be trolling Richard Ojeda. Really, John, what gave it away?
He better not be.
What gave it away?
It better just be a coincidence.
Yeah, I think he's just a Star Wars fan that blinks a lot.
Yeah.
His lights are flickering.
Well, let's continue this.
Give it a shot. Why not? Why not?
He's so happy.
Army Major, it is always a pleasure.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. The Blind Mike show, man, I really enjoy it. Anytime you guys want me on, man, say the word and I'm there.
Sappers, clear the way.
Ooh, airborne all the way.
He did that whole interview just to say that.
That's a fun one. So, all right. Yeah, I don't know. Would people in the chat give a shit about this, or is this just my own? I feel like people would enjoy that.
I think so.
If we did a live show with Richard Ojeda.
Stand up is passe.
Well, I think the stand up would be a very small portion of it.
Carl has to bring his guitar out.
That's the thing is I shouldn't have even mentioned Carl because I don't want to. That's another reason I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to rely on if I go on Kirk's show and say we're doing a live show, people would probably be very supportive of it. But I don't want it to be a thing where people are buying tickets to be nice. I want it to be an event that people will enjoy, you know?
The chat seems like they'd be into it.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah, you can call it something like what is this festival? Or something.
I don't get it.
I don't know. I was trying to think of why you laughing and who are these, and I fucking couldn't think of anything. I couldn't think of anything clever.
Well, that was evident.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
All right, yeah. So now I guess while we're on Richard Ojeda and Hackride, that's good. Something great has come out of a Hackride segment, folks. So pipe down. Because that was good news. This one is, I think, I watched for a second. I think it's a game we didn't get to with Ojeda, and Hackride was like, well, what if we made it longer?
He sent me two versions.
Okay. The shorter one is what we'll play, and I think he'll post the longer one. Or maybe we will on Patreon, on YouTube.
He sent me a short one and a long one. I clicked the short one, and I see the runtime, and I went, well, I must have hit the wrong one. So, this short one is 7 minutes long.
It is?
Yes.
All right. Well, we haven't done a live stream in a couple weeks, so we got to stick around, I guess.
Yeah, and let me read this disclaimer that's at the beginning. Richard was more comfortable meeting the human host before the show. And yes, I forgot to change the name back to Hackride.
Oh, does he not? Is his name on there?
His initials, I believe.
Oh, is he? And he's fine with that, I assume.
This is part of the video. I'm just reading the part of the video.
All right.
Now you know the name of the human host whom I have made a home in. So fucking what? It's not like you even fucking care. If you did, you would follow my YouTube.
It's a good point.
Follow now.
It's a good point.
But let's do it.
A lot of build up here.
I think I was supposed to play this and then read the disclaimer. Okay, on with the show. It says.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hackride Game at the end of the Blind Mike project. And with me today is our special guest, Richard Ojeda. Give it up for Richard, everyone. What's up, Richard? How are you doing today?
Doing great, man. Can't complain, man. I always enjoy being on.
He's too nice to correct the name mispronunciation.
Now,
hold on. Also, can I just say, based on what we just played, I'm assuming they had to Hackride has an actual interview with him, and then he has to reintroduce himself and say, "Richard, how are you doing?" And Richard again has to go, "I'm doing great, man."
when you came on with Blind Mike and Craig the last time, but we did not get to it. So I take this opportunity to play a little game. Army Major, I would like to introduce you to our Army Major.
What an honor it is!
What the fuck is going on?
Today to witness such a historical event.
All right, Richard's
Not
laughing.
Since Frost Nixon has there been such excitement about an interview. Blind Mike and Craig, it is good to see you again.
Now he's looking confused.
Hello, Richard.
Hey.
Although I am you, I would like to thank you for your service to this country. And if you are up for it, I
There
have
he's
a little
laughing
game
again.
for you three. First up to get things rolling,
Does he ever ask, like, hey, what the fuck is this?
I will give you some
Nope.
options.
He's a gamer, dude. He just goes for it.
Blind Mike and Craig. I will give the options and then show the pause screen. It is up to you if you two wanna bet what Richard will say. Okay, here we go. Our first this or that, Richard. Italian food or Mexican food?
Well, he is Mexican.
Yeah, which makes me want to say Italian.
Oh, the
Yes.
variety is the spice of life.
Mexican food is like, food.
I think he's gonna say his heritage. I bet his abuela cooked Mexican food or something
You're
when he was a
probably
boy.
right. You're probably right.
I'm going to say Italian food.
Oh,
Here we go, Richard.
On the
next
board.
one.
Here's another one, Richard. Platoon or Apocalypse Now?
Oh, come on. Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now, because it sounds like he kind of lived that life in West Virginia.
The cover of the movie almost looks like him in the Howler hiding from cars.
You're a grocery clerk sent to collect a bill. You're an errand boy. Fuck. Sent by grocery clerks.
We're in agreement on this one then.
Okay, Richard, this is a hard one. This is the two best war movies from a certain era. Which one?
It's not hard for me. I believe that there is nothing that can hold a candle to Platoon.
Wow.
That is I watch that movie probably once a month.
That was fun. Okay.
What the hell is happening? This is what the people that like complain. They're like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on in Hackride segments." I'm like, "No, I don't either." What do you?
Yeah. Just so you know, we are also
we have no clue what's happening. It's not like we're like, "Oh, very good."
I will ask Richard if you know what this person, place, or thing is. Mike and Craig will make their guess, and then Richard will let us know if he knows.
Richard right now has to be like, "Can I just come back on the show with them? What? Why am I interviewing myself? What's happening?"
No. Bo Burnham.
Will he know who Bo Burnham is?
No.
No chance.
Does Richard know who Bo Burnham is?
I don't.
All right.
Yeah, we both got that one.
UFOs, Richard.
Does he believe in UFOs? Yes.
Absolutely, and I bet he's spotted a few. Or his
I
family.
lived for like 3 months because of one.
Oh well, I went up into one of their ships and they probed me pretty good, and I
Curb
talked to
stomp
these
the pilot.
suckers.
He's gonna curb stomp aliens.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I've been really starting to get in, listening up to some of the stuff that's going on.
In fact, I know a guy named John Melendez, who certainly isn't from this planet. I'm not sure where he's from, but he's sort of a grotesque figure.
Dat Phan.
The comedian Dat Phan.
No way. He doesn't know Bo Burnham. He doesn't know who Dat Phan is.
I want to agree. There's no way he's like watched this program, right?
Oh, I love Last Comic Standing.
I'm just gonna say yes.
That's crazy. There's no chance. No one knows who Dat Phan is except us.
That's true, but I'm gonna do it just if worst case game's tied.
I don't.
Damn it.
That is good. That is good, Richard. You do not need to know who this man is. You are a better man for not knowing. All right, next game.
Our final game, Richard, Blind Mike, and Craig would Doc Stallings take. I will give you a name, and you let me know if a prime Doc Stallings would take him in a no-holds bar.
Okay, this was worth it.
I forgot about this.
I was wrong. I didn't remember this part.
I completely forgot about this part.
Match Doc's first opponent, Prime Barack Obama.
All right, Doc Stallings is winning all of these.
Doc Stallings would hammer Obama.
Yeah.
Now, would Prime
Oh,
Doc
wait a minute. Hold on. Can I still answer?
Yep.
Richard's answers might be based on how much he respects the individual politician.
True.
I'm still going to go with Doc Stallings because he probably has a great deal of respect for. But I don't want to factor strength too much into argument, I guess is my point.
take
Doc Stallings.
Prime Barack Obama in a no-holds-cage match? Richard, I ask
Now,
you.
I'm trying to understand. I know a Doc Stallings from West Virginia.
Oh, come on. He does, obviously.
That's great. He thinks that, and that's the correct response to think. Certainly, they're asking me about a different Doc Stallings. Could my buddy Doc Stallings beat up Barack Obama? Why would they ask me this?
This is, yes, he is the bruiser that we love who fights on the Senate floor. We need to know in his prime, could he take a Barack Obama?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, Doc Stallings is not only is he a doctor, but he grew up very, very rough. I would say this would probably be a tie because
he's a doctor of hard knocks. As a matter of fact, he went to school and he got his doctorate in hard knocks. That's why they call him Doc Stallings.
The challenge. So I'm going to say a tie on that one.
I told you though, my logic was correct.
Yes. As soon as I said yes, I'm like, he's not going to say a bad thing about Obama.
Right. That's what dawned on me.
Next, Doc Stallings' opponent, Richard.
Doc's next opponent, former senator in New York, Nick, Bill Bradley.
Oh, he's kicking the fuck out of him.
He hates Bill Bradley.
Has yet to reach, Richard, but
He's
Doc
kicking the
Stallings
fuck out of him.
Was ferocious, like a wolverine.
Yeah. So he Richard hates Bill Bradley. So
he's kicking the
we're gonna
fuck
get a good answer here, I think.
He's kicking the tar out of him.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Doc Stallings. I'm telling you, he is a wonderful man, but you don't want to cross him, and he won't take a step back.
I mean, he's the kind of guy who will throw a basketball right under your car.
Baker's lips.
Oh, what?
I say that.
Yeah, rewind that.
Did he say something?
No, there's no way.
But you don't want to cross him, and he won't take a step back. Doc Stallings is hard as woodpecker's lips.
That's what I thought he said.
Yep, me too.
Here we go.
This is going to be a tough one for old Doc. One Brendan Schaub.
Ooh, this is a tough.
I don't know who that is, but Doc's going to kick the shit out of him.
Yeah, he's not going to know who Brendan Schaub is. My fear is Hackride might explain it in a way where he's like, oh, well, of course, Brendan Schaub. But I'm going to say he picks Doc Stallings.
If Hackride knows what he's doing, he's just going to say he's like a terrible podcast.
He's a comedian, yeah.
One, Brendan Schaub, who is a modern day fighter in the cage. Do you think a prime Doc Stallings could take a prime cage fighter?
No.
I actually like Brandon Schaub, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with my good old friend Doc Stallings because
holy shit! Wait, is that the fake Richard Ojeda?
No. Oh my god.
I actually like Brandon Schaub. He's a good friend of mine.
Wow.
Wait, he likes not just he knows who Brendan Schaub is. He likes him.
He likes him.
That's
Interesting.
very interesting. We got to get to the bottom of that.
Interesting.
Stallings in his prime, and I'm telling you, he's a tough guy.
We have one more for you here in this part of the game, and this one will be easy.
Doc Stallings be able to take the West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin.
Oh, he's kicking the absolute fuck out of Joe Manchin.
He's going to have some colorful words as to how well Doc Stallings will do in this fight.
He might put that motherfucker in a coma.
Oh, this is an easy one. I saw you get up in your chair for this one, Richard.
Well, the only thing that Joe Manchin has is a really strong tongue because he licks people's boots. But
I agree with everything that Richard or I said. And I thank you so much for playing Richard. It has been an honor. And we hope to have you back soon. Blind Mike and Craig, I will see y'all at the celebration orgy.
Okay.
He's laughing.
I am hilarious, Richard.
When Hackride said you stood up in your chair. I think the idea of Doc Stallings fighting Joe Manchin like physically got Richard hard. Like he was fully erect. Like he was about to break something.
Dude, he was tucking it in his belt. Just
He's doing shots. He's fucking doing lines of coke.
Let's see more questions with Richard Ojeda.
A lot of imaging for this.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, it's a preview of the other one.
Zeppelin or The Who? Have you ever done any psychedelic drugs in your life? As we sit here, Richard, could you drive a tank? More impressed or least impressed with the amount of cocaine that you sought at the Corey Feldman 50th birthday party? What is your guilty?
Oh, that's interesting. We never asked him about Corey Feldman.
We didn't. I think didn't we talk to him after? Oh no, we didn't follow up really.
Yeah, we didn't really. I shame on me.
Do you watch any of the TLC holding, I'm too fat, I'm married to a prisoner? Have you ever turned on the TV and seen John talk to a potato or John talk to a Muppet?
Sounds kind of like Hackride left the good stuff for himself. All right, well, that's interesting. Yeah, go follow Hackride on YouTube. I don't know where everything's going to be posted. Maybe some will be on this channel, which you should subscribe to and tap the notification bell and like all these videos because that helps the channel. And you should go do the same for Hackride, who I believe is just at Hackride on YouTube. So make sure you go follow him. You'll see the demon photo as his avatar. So
yeah, because now he's gun shy to actually put his YouTube anywhere on anything after it used to be the only thing. So
oh well, he shouldn't be. No. He can promote anytime he wants. And this is what I was going to say to you. Even when you want to scam your listeners, you can always tell me, "Hey, I'd like to get the scam plug-in earlier in the show." You can always say that, and I'll have no problem doing it. My only thing with Hackride was like, it shouldn't be the only thing on there.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's gun shy.
But yeah, no. So go promote Hackride, support Craig. Fund Craig so that he can find new creative ways to take advantage of you guys. I think that'd be fun.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm looking for next.
Yeah, I don't know. Go listen to Very Good Show to see what they come up with. Can I make a prediction?
Yeah, sure. It's probably right.
You'll pay this roughly zero respect and never come up with an appropriate punishment.
I'm telling I can't.
But you guys find out on Very Good Show.
Yeah, I can't make my own punishment up.
Well, I would say that's a pretty big base to lose. That would be like for me. Justin turning on you is if like box eating dad turned on me.
So he didn't turn on me. He's just disappointed.
Wow. I mean, hey, believe whatever you want, sweetheart. I don't know. This is a weird one. Did people enjoy this episode? I have no idea. We didn't. I feel like it was a little odd, but I had fun.
It was out of the ordinary, but I enjoyed it.
And I think a live show came out of it, so that's exciting.
Oh yeah, that'll be very exciting.
Yeah, so you guys let me know any feedback you have on that. Go to blindmike.net, support this program. We appreciate it. Subscribe on the Patreon if you like, or support the show for free. Do the same for Very Good Show, with caution, of course, but do check it out. Just kind of proceed, maybe tiptoe around any of the landmines. Make sure they don't rope you in. If you see anything about like, what's the thing that Doug Flutie sells that sounds like eugenics? I think it's Nugenics or something like that.
Yeah.
If you see anything like that, run and hide.
Yeah.
But short of that, enjoy the program.
And we have a mean transition.
Sappers clear the way. Everyone all the way.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy.